Hey, sup? So this time though, I kinda decided to not really rate YouTubers Japanese, but like this is something like everybody kinda has been talking about recently. Like, so every time I do videos, like I get a lot of comments like that say something like, "Hey Sora, can you check this YouTuber's Japanese? I'm just really curious if he's fluent or not." And I'm like, let me tell you. All those people who speak Japanese out there are fluent, so GG. That's the stream. That's it for the stream today. So thank you so much for watching the stream. Bye everybody. Have a good night. So yeah, that was like obviously me just being a troll, but like so seriously, it's in a thumbnail as well. But to explain it in like 1 second, Joey, as in the anime man. I've been kind of simping for him like for a long time, like not really being a simp for him, but I've been following his stuff for a long time. And let me tell you something, the anime man. A lot of people are curious, like if he actually speaks Japanese or not, cause like if you freaking put the anime man, the prediction tells you to search the anime man Japanese, the anime man Nihongo, which is Japanese. Anime man speaks Japanese, and the anime man ASMR. So a lot of people are curious, like if he actually speaks or not, if speaks Japanese or not, right? And let me tell you, this is kind of unfortunate, but his Japanese is actually freaking 20 times better than mine, and I'm not even freaking kidding about it. Like I'm actually serious about this, and this is actually really, really unfortunate for me, cause I'm actually serious. The anime man was born and raised in Australia, is like what I heard. But his Japanese is like legit 20 times better than mine, and I'm gonna explain. And I'm not being humble or anything. I'm actually being freaking serious about this. His Japanese is legitimately 400 times better than mine, and who is Japanese? I think I figured it out in like one of those videos like where he kind of does like a Japanese quiz, and he seems to know a lot of like kanji and a lot of like idioms in Japanese. Yeah, I mean, so the thing about it, let me tell you. So Thiago52192, you were saying he's half Japanese, to be honest. You were saying that, right? It doesn't matter, like that's the thing. So again, let me tell you, he's half Japanese, right? But the thing about it is, he was born and raised in Australia, right? Mostly. So his Japanese is it's supposed to be his second language, but the thing about it is his Japanese is actually freaking 20 times better than mine, which is like the scariest part about the whole thing. And thank you so much for the donation, Ricky. Yo Sora, please enjoy buying a Kit Kat with this $1. And what color are your pants right now? Black. Thank you so much for the donation. So yeah, let me tell you, where was it? I think he did like a Japanese quiz or something. I think it was like with Reina Scully or something. Joey's Japanese is pretty good for a second language. Let me tell you. So when I first found Joey, like I think that was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago or something, I really thought he was born and raised in Japan. I really thought he was like one of those half Japanese people that was born and raised in Japan. I was like so sure about it. I was like, yeah, okay, so this guy is probably Japanese. Like his passport probably says he's Japanese. And I kind of started like watching his stuff, like, you know, after I found him out. After I found him for like I was like watching him like every day before, and I figured out that he in fact is Australian, and I was like, what? So yeah, I basically did that, and let me explain. I really don't think I can get copyrighted for doing this stream, because if I get copyrighted for this stream, I mean, I'm gonna just live as a meme forever. Reina Scully, it's she's I think she's Japanese American or something, and yeah, her Japanese is really good too. I really don't know, like, the thing about it is, let me tell you, my Japanese is probably worse than any YouTubers that I'm gonna talk about. So including the anime man, his Japanese is freaking 20 times better than mine, and obviously his English is like 700 times better than mine, because like he actually took some education in English as well. In my case, I took education mostly in Japanese, but like for some reason, I don't know, people tell me that my Japanese is broken like everywhere, and obviously people tell me that I freaking sound weird in English and like sound stupid everywhere. So yeah, and
so a lot of people, it just looks like a bunch of like little drawings.
Yeah, little hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it's like it can get really so that's just the warm-up.
Okay, alright, okay, now I'm confident.
If you would have got that wrong, I would have been a little bit.
Yeah, you would have just kicked me out of the house.
Here's the next one.
so I actually don't know what that is already. Oh damn. Sai1988, thank you so much for the donation. Next time, can you rate Yuta the Japanese man English? Because the thing about it is, I really am not gonna rate any YouTubers Japanese or anything. So what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna just explain like what's really important, like when you speak some like language. Let me explain. But anyways, let me just read it. Here's my donation. By the way, please buy a different color of pantsuit. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the donation. So let me tell you. I have to ask you guys a question, by the way. So what's the definition of being fluent in Japanese? Tell me. In the comment. Tell me. I'm really curious. Tell me. What is the definition of being fluent in Japanese? Like, what is it? Like, when do you say somebody's fluent in Japanese? And let me tell you. So I was an English teacher in Japan like for 5 years before, right? And I kind of taught Japanese to non-Japanese people myself as well. And let me tell you, so being fluent in a language actually means, so the definition could be kind of broad and it could be kind of different depending on like what you think is important. But let me tell you, what's really important when you speak a language, like when you speak Japanese, for example, what's really important is how you speak it. And yeah, so I just made a typo there, but I'm not gonna fix it because I mean, I'm a troll. So how you speak it is like really important than anything else. So let me tell you, your personality when you're speaking the language matters more than anything else. Like that's what I'm gonna talk about in this stream. So how you spike it is really important, as in like some people, so this is something like a lot of people have been kind of saying, but not really saying, but a lot of people kind of like focus on the grammar itself, and then they kind of forget about how they speak the language itself. I think that's a lot more important than anything. So what I mean by that is like, so let me explain, because this is like the most important thing in Japanese. So like, yeah, sure, you can speak Japanese and you can probably have a conversation with like a Japanese people and whatever, but are you being nice to people, or are you just straight up being rude to Japanese people when you're speaking Japanese? I think that's like the most important thing when speaking in whatever language, you know. It's the same in English. And one more thing. So alright, let me ask you guys something. is it better to have an accent when you speak Japanese? Yes or no? And this is something I figured out like when I was 19 or something. This is so this is from my experience. Let me tell you. So a lot of people truly believe that like you're supposed to speak Japanese. Like it's actually the same in English as well, but like you're supposed to speak the language without any accent. Like so accent as in like you are supposed to sound like Japanese, like when you are speaking Japanese. And let me tell you, I kind of doubt it. And you are supposed to sound like yourself. Like it's like a lot more important than trying to sound like Japanese people. Let me ask you something. So do you think, so let's say I think it's the same in English as well, but do you think people with accents sound smarter or dumber than other people without an accent? So smarter, dumber. That's my question. And thank you so much for the donation, J. Limao. How would one study conversational Japanese? Or more so, how would one maintain discipline and motivation to consistently learn the language? I'm gonna talk about it too. Dumber, smarter. In my experience, let me tell you, if you have an accent in whatever language you are speaking, people are gonna think you are smart for that. Because if you have an accent, that usually means like, so yeah, but I think having an accent itself means kind of like so let's say having an accent, the definition of that itself here means your first language is not Japanese. Like that's the definition of it. So let's say if you have an accent, as in like if Japanese is not your first language, it's actually the same in English as well. If your English is not your first language and if you have an accent, people are gonna think you are smart just for that. I get that everywhere as well. Like, so I get that, like when I speak in English, from everybody. Though my IQ is actually 20. The way how I speak English itself, it's kind of dumb, because I, like, as everybody knows, the only things I say are poop, piss, stuff like that, right? So, like, things I say are really, really stupid. But people will think you're smart just because you have an accent, which means the language you are speaking in right now is not your first language. So people will think like, oh my god, this guy learned the language somehow because he sounds foreign. What the? Oh my gosh, he must be freaking like so smart. How high is your IQ? I get that everywhere. And I just tell them like, oh, my IQ is actually 20 and I don't know, I'm like this. So, but let me explain about it a little bit more, because I think I want to kind of answer your question, J. Limao. I have wait, how would one study conversational Japanese? So as to this though, I've been kind of saying this, but like you really have to make Japanese friends before anything. So you know, a lot of people just come up to me and just ask me something like, hey Sora, so how can I study Japanese? How can I learn Japanese like within the month? Because like I want to date a Japanese girl. Oh my gosh, I'm so Levi senpai. I get that question from like a lot of people. Like Levi senpai part was a little bit exaggerated, but like I get that from like a lot of people. And let me tell you, so you have to think about like why you want to learn Japanese first. But like if you want to learn Japanese though, it's like there should be a lot of reasons, but you probably just want to make Japanese friends. Like it should be one of the reasons for you. Like you probably just want to watch anime, you just probably want to read some like Japanese novels, you want to understand Japanese stuff and whatever like that. But so here, let me tell you, if you want to learn Japanese, most of the time you probably just want to make Japanese friends, don't ya? So what I wanted to tell you was this is like what I usually tell to everybody, but like you really are supposed to make Japanese friends before anything. So then it's gonna just solve like your problems here as well. Like you just have to make Japanese friends before anything. So, and Zachary Essay, thank you so much for the donation. I have studied basic Japanese, but even though I have tried working on the accent, my Aussie accent is so strong. That's a perk! That's actually a perk, let me tell you. So let me tell you, what's interesting about it is like, so I speak English like this, right? I speak English like this, and I kind of like try to say some things differently on purpose. Like, so let me tell you, this is something I've been talking about, but this word right here, I've been talking about this like in every stream I kind of do, sort of. And when I say this word, I say it like, oh, apparently. And like when I say it, a lot of, especially Americans, kind of just come up to me and they tell me like, did you just say apparently? What the? What? Oh my gosh! The way how you say it is so wrong. And the thing about it is like I say it like apparently, like that, because I know if I say it differently, I get attention from people, and they think it's cool. I never say it like apparently. I know how like a lot of people say it like apparently, but I don't say it like that because I know the perk. You kinda are supposed to say it like differently from people because people will think that's freaking attractive. And you know what though? Your Aussie accent, which means your first language is English, right? Japanese people will be like, oh my god, so you were not born in Japan? Oh my god, you were so smart for like learning a language because like we don't speak any languages besides Japanese. Oh my god. Like, this is how it is really. So let me tell you, you really are supposed to sound foreign if you want to get attention, or like if you want to be popular. And let me tell you, so Anime Man, his Japanese is way too good, to the point we can't even tell like if he was actually born in Japan or not, because like I really thought he was born in Japan and he was raised in Japan. Like his Japanese is that good, right? So the thing about it is, people in Japan are going to think he's Japanese. Like, so nobody's gonna doubt his nationality. People in Japan will be like, oh, so you probably were born in Japan, because like, you know, that way how you speak and like things you know, like probably just explain like, you know, how exposed, like how you are, like how much exposure you got in Japan, so like I can tell you're Japanese. Like I'm pretty sure he probably got that everywhere, which means though he probably wouldn't get that much attention in Japan. So that's my honest opinion, actually. So if you sound foreign, like if you have a like if your first language is not Japanese, and if you don't really sound Japanese, damn dude, let me tell you, you get a lot of ladies. If you're a girl, you'll get a lot of boys, because people will be like, oh my god, that's so kawaii, that's so cute, the way how you speak is like just so cute, oh my gosh. You'll get that everywhere. Let me tell you, like, just trust me. So yeah, and again, his Japanese is really great, and this is something I've been saying, but his Japanese is really great, to the point like where I really cannot tell like if he's Japanese or not. But the thing about it is his personality sort of changes when he speaks Japanese. So this is something like people do, but if you learn languages like natively, like more than one language, they freaking have like different personalities. Like this is really, really interesting to me, which is not really the case for me, I believe. I might have that too, because I really cannot do like whatever I do on YouTube like in real life, and I really thought that's just because of like the Shredder troll like theme I have on my channel. But I feel like it might have something to do with like yeah, me speaking like different languages, but Japanese. Yeah, here. So this is a video like where he kind of just speaks Japanese. And
なかなかないということなんですよ。でもなんかそれは惜しい。日本に住んでいるのに日本の視聴者がなかなかいない。まあこれは惜しいことだと思いまして、この動画をやってみようかなと。
So the thing about it is, when he is speaking English, I feel like he kind of sounds a lot more serious. Not really serious, but how to explain it? Like, you guys know what I mean, right? But like when he's speaking Japanese, I feel like he sort of sounds like a bit more, not comedic, but like a bit more how do I say this like without saying like any how do I explain this? And yeah, I know like the face right now is kind of
こういう日本語の動画ってさ、もう絶対字幕入れなきゃいけないんだよ。もう日本語がわかるに。
How do I explain this? He sounds more energetic here. That's a great word. Yeah, that's a great word. He sounds a lot more energetic, and the thing about it is like that's what I kind of want to say, and that's kind of like what I want everybody to know. So not exaggerated. Like so. His Japanese is way too perfect to the point I really cannot believe he's Australian. I still kind of see him as like Japanese, and this is what I mean. So when you speak Japanese, you really have to pay attention to like your personality itself more than like how you speak it, like how much effort you put into the grammar or anything. That's kind of like what I mean, and the anime man's like a great example, because like when he speaks Japanese, he really follows the Japanese culture. Like there are some certain things he can't talk about, he can't say, like things we don't do, the way how we talk and stuff like that. That's like the most important thing more than like anything. So he seems to know about it like really well. And Light D, thank you so much for the donation. And what if your first language is French? It's the same. If you sound foreign, you'll get a lot of girls, like a lot of guys. Same. Because alright, let me do something. So here, alright, ready? I'm gonna say something in English, and I want you guys to tell me which one's better. Ready? まあ大衆の好みとかどうでもいいよ。語学勉強者のプライドにかけて正しく喋りたい。まあそれが趣味とか、まあプライドだったらまあその方がいいかなとはなるんですけど、でもすごい現実的なことを見ると、まあ今から説明します。So, ready? So the first one. I want you guys to tell me like which one you guys liked better. Ready? The first one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So, this is my first stream, and I don't really speak English well, but I try super hard, and I want to be good at speaking English, because English is a international language, and I think I want to learn English. So that's the first one. The thing about it is, when I do that, people instantly have a good impression about me. And I'm pretty sure you guys probably get the same thing as well. Like you wouldn't think like, oh my gosh, this guy, what the actual F, like, oh my gosh, I don't like the way how he speaks. You wouldn't get that kind of idea. No, you wouldn't. But let me tell you. So number 2 is this one. So this is number 2. Ready? You know what, dude? I like hamburgers. Like, I eat hamburgers like every day, and let me tell you, like, these hamburgers are just so good, man. I like hamburgers, and like hamburgers are just really, really awesome, and I hate this water. Like hamburgers, man, hamburgers. Like, you know what? I just really love hamburgers, and like hamburgers are the best, and I'm telling you, man, I'm literally telling you, hamburgers are the best. And I'm really sorry for doing that, because like I just really wanted to show everybody like that. But yeah, so that's what I mean. That's what I've been kind of trying to say. So if your first language is French, it doesn't really matter. It's a lot better to sound foreign, really. And what matters more is what you talk about, more than like how you speak the language. Like, that's just my conclusion. So the thing about it is, like, again, I've been kind of speaking English and Japanese for a long time, like, you know, since I was 7, 12, I really forgot. And in my honest opinion, I legit tried to sound foreign at some point in my life before when I speak Japanese, to make them think that I'm not Japanese, so that I get some good stuff from people. I get good stuff from people. Like, you know what though? If they think you're foreign, they'll be like, oh my gosh, which country are you from? Like, can I just give you $10 for just being in Japan? You get that. You actually get that. Like, seriously. And red lips. I get that, but like, no, it's just probably the can. It's just saturated with something. And thank you so much for the donation, Valrona. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And 今こういう英語のアクセントとかも卒論書いているので。So, the thing about it is, let me tell you. So, in America, this is, by the way, I actually talked about this with my American friends, and they told me something really, really interesting. So, the thing about it is, in America, it's a lot better to have an accent 100% in America. It's a lot better. People will think you were smart. But it depends on what accent you have too. This is really unfortunate, and I'm not being racist or anything. If you have an accent, any accent, people will think you were smart. People will think you were hot. But if you sound Indian, then people will not really have a good impression about you, because like they are Indian scammers. Like, that's what my American friends told me. And I was like, really? So you can sound anything but not Indian? I was like, why? And they told me like, because there are a lot of scammers that are Indian in America. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And if you actually watch videos on YouTube, and again, I'm not trying to be racist, but like I'm not trying to make fun of like Indian people for sounding Indian, but this is what they told me. My American friends, this is what my American friends told me. Like, they just told me like, when we hear their accent, it just reminds us of scammers. So we tend to not have like a good impression about them. But besides that, if you have an accent, people will be interested in you because you're exotic. And I was like, that makes sense, because I get that from everywhere. I'm from everybody. Like, you know what though, when I intentionally try to sound like freaking Japanese, like, you know, full Japanese, like, hello, nice to meet you, people freaking come up to me and be like, oh my god, you're Japanese. But when I try to sound like myself, I mean, still people come up to me and just ask me like which country I'm from and whatever. But still, when I try to sound myself, people don't even like have any interest in me. You get what I mean? So, try to speak Japanese. Not like a Japanese guy, but I can't speak English that much either. By listening to your English, I can study English too. 私も英語があまり話せません。あなたの英語を聞くことで私も英語を勉強することができます。ですよね。まあ、重要なことだと思います。ありがとうございます。そう、いわゆる無自覚の差別思想なんですよね。難しい。差別思想っていうか、まあ、まあ、インドのやつは、まあ、なんか、面白いなとは正直思ってしまったところはある。正直。 正直思ってしまった。But again, you get what I mean, right? So I'm not saying like so this whole thing is not really about me saying like oh you are not supposed to sound Indian. It's not like what I mean. What I mean by that is you're supposed to sound foreign. And if you sound foreign, you'll get a lot of ladies and guys everywhere. You'll get attention. That's exactly the same in Japanese as well. And so in Anime Man's case, his Japanese is just way too good, and I don't really think he will get a lot of attention in Japan. He might still get attention because he's a great guy. He's really smart, and I think his personality is kind of great too, and he's good looking too as well. And so Dogen. By the way, if you actually want to learn Japanese, he is the best for it. This guy's like legit the best guy for it. For, I don't know, like just all the Japanese stuff. You're not attracted to join? I mean... So, Dogen. I've been actually watching his stuff for 3 years or something, like for a long time. And Sprout, thank you so much for the donation. Cuban, Chinese, and can confirm people love my accent. So yeah, so please try to sound foreign. You don't even have to like try to sound like a Japanese guy when you speak Japanese, because like you will lose your attraction in it. Like, just don't even do it. And Dogen is like the perfect example of like a, you know, popular people in Japan. And here, no, not this one. This one?
1番まずは郵便番号を書きます。
Oh, by the way, Dogen's Japanese is like really, really great to the point like where I can learn some Japanese from him as well.
まずはローマ字とも漢字ともつかないこの人を書きます。でその後郵便番号を記入します。2番都道府県を書きます。
And I thank you so much for the donation, Valrona, about the French part. I'm French too, and I'm learning Japanese, and I just can't seem to get it right because I speak really... So the thing about it is though, I think it's just all about finding out the way how you want to speak Japanese. So here, let me tell you. So I really don't know, like, so I'm not really into linguistics or anything, so I really don't know about the whole thing, but I'm not even like into phonetics or like linguistics, but what I'm into is voice acting, like how you speak itself. So let me tell you, when you speak, try to think about how you...
ご注意ください。新潟県もしくは滋賀県に住んでいる。
And by the way, Japanese people will think Dogen is extremely smart. Like he is like the great example of like popular people in Japan. Is Dogen self-taught? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I know that was weird. I just wanted to do it. Like I was gonna actually talk about something serious, and I just kind of gave up. He's like, don't moan. I don't know, I just wanted to moan a little bit. And この人めっちゃネイティブ。そうなんですよ。So his Japanese is really, really great. But the thing about it is, we can still tell he's not Japanese. So we'll be like, oh my god, you're not, like, your Japanese is really, really great. Like, we can tell you're so fluent. But at the same time, we can tell you're not Japanese. You must be really, really smart. How high is your IQ? Marry me. Please be my friend. This is my phone. Let me exchange my... So yeah, that's probably what he gets in Japan. And I'm not even like exaggerating this. So and I think like every Japanese person who's watching this right now can agree with me. I'm pretty sure Dogen is freaking popular in Japan. Like literally every Japanese person out there likes Dogen. 100%. I can guarantee you. And David Nguyen, love your stream. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. But so the thing about it is, so again, the Anime Man. The difference between the Anime Man and Dogen is it's really, really interesting, because this is where it gets really interesting. So again, this is anime man
みたいなのが入ってます
speaking
ね。フィ
Japanese,
ギュアっ
right?
ぽくはないし、ポップファイナルでもないんだよね。なんかポップファイナルとかよくあるじゃないですか。ストバンド
So the thing about it is, I'm not really trying to be rude or anything, but let me tell you one thing. So we can tell,
なのかな。
or like we cannot really tell. What I'm trying to say is, his Japanese sounds way too fluent to the point that like way too fluent to the point where we cannot tell he's not really Japanese. Like as in he was born and raised in Australia. It's just really hard to believe he's actually Australian. So like our brain like instantly thinks that Joey is Japanese. The thing about it is Dogen, on the other hand, we can tell he's not Japanese.
で、1ヶ
But
月
he
以上
sounds so fluent. So I'm pretty sure everybody in Japan will think Dogen has like freaking IQ of 250 or like more than that, really. More than that. So what I'm saying is like you are really supposed to sound foreign. Like it's a perk, 100%. And on the other hand, anime man, he sounds so native. Like he just sounds so Japanese, and I don't really think a lot of people will think that his IQ is 250. So that's what I mean. If you sound foreign, if you have an accent, people will think you are freaking smart. It's the same in any language. うますぎて平凡な YouTuber っぽい喋り方になっちゃったってこと。本当にそれで、これ自分、英語でも日本語でも大体思ってたんですけど、So, this Japanese person is saying, so yeah, he's probably just way too good at Japanese, so he now sounds like a normal, like, average YouTuber. And exactly, that's kind of what I'm saying. His Japanese is really, really great. Like, it's just so natural. And, like, everything about him is, like, so Japanese. Like, things he says, how he talks, like, it's just insanely natural. It's crazy. We cannot tell if he's actually Japanese or not. So, our brain thinks, like, oh, yeah, this guy's probably just Japanese. Okay, that's it. Nothing more than that. Again, on the other hand, Dogen, we can tell he's not really Japanese, but his Japanese is so fluent. So we'll be like, oh my god, his IQ must be 250. Whoa! And it's the same for abroad in Japan, by the way. Same for him too. So, in reality though, I don't really think he is interested in like linguistics or anything. So he's kind of like me. I'm not really interested in linguistics. Well, like I'm not even interested in like phonetics or anything. Like I just think languages are just meant to be for having a communication, like having a conversation with people. Like that's just really it. And that's just like really how I see languages are. And abroad in Japan, we think 100%, we think this guy's freaking smart. It's insane because like so he sounds smart when he speaks Japanese, and it's crazy. And the thing about it is because how he speaks Japanese, he sounds so foreign. Again, he sounds so foreign. And if I have to be honest with everybody, his Japanese, is I think his Japanese sounds kind of far different from how we speak Japanese. But that's a perk. Again, if you sound foreign, people are gonna think you are smart and hot. That's the same in any languages. Please. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And Zachary Essay, I'm so tempted to hear you sing a serious song. Your voice sounds so versatile that I think that you would be an awesome singer. If you're interested, go to Sora.troll, SoundCloud. I have like a lot of serious stuff there. I'm not gonna play it here because it's not the point of like the stream, but you can do that. So yeah, that's basically it. And do you watch VTubers? Oh! So I don't watch VTubers, by the way. I don't watch VTubers. But I know this one VTuber who got popular in Japan as well. She's really, really popular in Japan, as far as I know. Let me explain why. And thank you so much for the donation, Nicole Brownova. Oh, another stream with an interesting topic. And at that time, ideal for Europeans. Thanks. Yeah, I kind of decided to do a stream like this at like, you know, night in my time, because why not? I'm gonna still like stream at 12 p.m. in my time, like on Thursdays probably. So the thing about it is, we call her Gaurugura. I think that's like what she's called in Japan. She's so popular in Japan as well. See? He gets it. このサメちゃんが日本語喋ってるの死ぬほど可愛すぎる。So he's Japanese, right? And what he's basically saying, saying is, this Shark Chan, how I think that how my brain, I like the way how this Shark Chan speaks Japanese, and it's so freaking cute. Like that's just basically what he just said in Japanese. And the reason why Japanese people like her is because when she speaks Japanese, she sounds foreign, right? We like that. You are supposed to sound foreign. Like, again, you were supposed to sound foreign. Everybody is gonna think you are cute, you are smart, you are hot, you are everything. You're everything to me. That's why I kinda try to sound myself when I speak English as well. Like, I never try to follow like any accent or anything. I've been trying to sound myself. So this is what I get from everybody. People tell me all the time, like, oh my god, you sound foreign. I get that from everybody. Literally everybody. It's insane because I get that from Japanese people, I get that from like Europeans, I get that from Americans, I get that from everybody, which means everybody thinks I'm exotic when I'm speaking English, which means everybody's interested in how I speak. I think it's a perk, and I've been kind of abusing it. I'm sorry because I'm an attention seeker. So I'm sorry for doing that. And that's why I say it like, I don't say apparently, but I say it like apparently, because I know people are interested in stuff like that, dude. You get attention for speaking like that. And at the same time, I've been doing it for a long time, and I just sometimes say some messed up stuff because I don't even know like how to actually sound properly. So yeah. And Aaron Yogurt, thank you so much for the donation. You sound hot in English, bro. You get it. See. And yeah, so this is what I mean, cause like again, if you sound foreign, if you sound unique, people will be interested in you, and that's what I mean. So like that's the same for Gaurugura-chan as well. If you want to be like a freaking, professor, or like if you want to be like an English teacher, I know it could be a different story, but like if you just want to learn Japanese, then I don't really think you really are supposed to sound like a native, like is what I mean. Again, I kind of sometimes try to sound foreign when I speak Japanese as well, because I know like that can get attention, and I'm an attention seeker, so you know what I mean. And Sea Dog VA. So Connor, and by the way, he is probably really popular in Japan as well, because, so let me tell you, he's I think he's still like learning Japanese, I guess. He manga sort of came to Japan recently too, right? So he's not really like super fluent, but again, he is really smart as a person, and how he speaks Japanese is like he basically sounds foreign. He sounds foreign in Japanese, to me at least. So people will like Connor 100% because like he sounds foreign when he speaks Japanese, and we will be like, oh my gosh, he's a foreigner, please teach me English and I want to marry you. So that's probably what he gets in Japan 100% of the time. So his Japanese is back to me. The thing about it, let me tell you, so you might think stuff like this because you are not Japanese. So the thing about it is, this is like where it gets really, really interesting. So again, let me do this again. Tell me which one you guys like better. 1, ready? 1 or 2, ready? I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. Let me tell you which one you guys like better. So, hello, nice to meet you, everybody. I am Sora, and my English is not so good, but I try to speak English because I want to make friends outside of Japan, and I really think English is a great language. That's 1, right? That's one. And 2, ready? I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. Ready? Oh my gosh, like, dude, I love hamburgers, man. Like, hamburgers are just so good. Like, I can't believe it. Like, hamburgers are just so good. Like, hamburgers, bro. Gosh. Like, oh my gosh. Like, hamburgers, bro. I just freaking love hamburgers, and I just really, really love hamburgers, and I just really love them. Like, eat hamburgers, bro. I'm sorry for doing stuff like that, but I just really wanted to tell you like how one could be popular among the people who are outside of Japan. If you are not Japanese, you will say like 1 is better. If you are Japanese, you will think 2 is better. What's interesting about this is like, so by the way, my major is sort of like psychology. Not really, my major was actually, you know, translation, like between English and Japanese, but like I was sort of like sub-majoring in psychology as well. And the thing about it is, let me read the donation later. The thing about it is, if you're Japanese, you will like the second accent better, because like you sound a lot different from Japanese people, and that's what we like about the accent. Because if you sound like 1, like hello, nice to meet you, then you know it's exactly the same as like other Japanese people, and we will not think it's exotic. So, and the thing about it is, so here's the thing, it's not really about the pronunciation itself, it's all about which one people like better. And that's what's really important when you speak a language. I'm gonna talk about it later then. So Japanese people hate Japanese accent. Americans hate American accent. They like other accents, basically. It's the same in Japanese as well. Like Americans, I'm saying Americans, but like it's the same in any country. So like let's say non-Japanese people don't like it when non-Japanese people speak Japanese with an accent. Like, konnichiwa, watashi no namae wa Jack desu. People don't like it. Like people outside of Japan don't like it when somebody speaks Japanese like this. But people in Japan love it actually. When we see a guy who sounds like that, we will be like, oh my god, which country are you from? Like, you must be like, from like what? Like America or something? Oh my gosh, you're so like foreign to me. I really wanna date you. You get that everywhere in Japan. So, you guys probably hate yourselves, and that's probably like what it is. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing like there's nothing wrong with it. That's just like how human psychology works. And E-Roll W, thank you so much for the donation. In my place, many Japanese people do not live here. Do you have any advice for making Japanese friends online? Play VR chat, and I'm actually serious about this. I know I'm gonna freaking sound troll for saying this, but go up to Japanese people in VR chat. So there's this one game called a VR chat, and I used to play it before as well, like Sorada Troll VR chat. go up to Japanese people and do this exactly the same thing, and I really feel like this is the best way to make Japanese friends, and I'm not even kidding. And I know I'm gonna probably sound like I'm freaking trolling for talking about this, but ready? Do this exactly the same thing.
何がいいかな。いるね。うんこ。
Japanese. So
なんだろう、何がいいかな。
go up to Japanese people and do this. Funny phrases and stuff. I think I said oh, can you teach me some funny phrases and stuff?
面白いやつなんだろうね。面白いやつ。
Anything is fine actually. Can you teach me something?
なんだろう、何がいいかな。
You speak English, right?
little 少し。
Oh, okay.
あんまり
Wait,
喋れない。
can you tell me how to say poop in Japanese? That one right there. That one right there. Can you teach me how to say poop in Japanese? This one phrase is gonna freaking get a lot of Japanese people. Cause like, I don't know why. In Japan though, unchi is like a freaking gold comedy. Like, 日本人の方これ説明できます？うんちっていうと笑う人多くないですか？異常に。海外に比べて。So, I have a question for those Japanese people. I'm actually curious about this. Like, why is it funny when people say unchi? Like, it's not funny though in English. Like, so let's say, like if somebody comes up to you and be like, poop, it's not really funny. But like, in Japan, it's like sort of funny and I don't really know why. It has something to do with like a Crayon Shinchan or something. It's like a cultural thing. I don't really know why. うんこの方が面白い。まあそうですけども、うんこ sounds better, but like, I don't know why though. Like, I've been kind of curious about it. Like, so yeah, this one comment is like freaking hilarious. See, like, he'd say like, unchi, lol. That one's freaking hilarious. And he just basically just said like, oh, poop. It's not funny in English. It's freaking funny in Japanese. See, this guy is saying like, so he basically just said, unchi, lol, poop, lol. I don't know why, but it's freaking hilarious. He's saying that too. I don't know why. It's not the same in English. If I just say like poop, it's not funny. Like, oh, you just said a poop. Awesome. Why did you just say poop? It's... Wait, let me just read the donation. Jenny, hi Sora. Hello Jenny, thank you so much for coming to the stream again. Blair channel, what's your opinion, thoughts on Nihongo Jozu? Nihongo Jozu. So, do you guys know what Nihongo Jozu is? Like, your Japanese is good. Do you know like what the meme is about? Yes or no? I'm just really curious if you guys know about the meme or not. Yes or no? Do you guys know about like this Nihongo Jozu meme? Your Japanese is good meme. No? Yes? So like if you know what this meme is about, yeah, that's awesome. If you don't know, then that's unfortunate. But let me tell you, so in Japan though, people are so polite so that people try to be nice to you. People try to be nice to you, right? So they basically tell you some like nice things about you. Like, so let's say people tell you like something like, I like your shoes, I like your hair, I like your shirt, I like your Japanese, like something like that. And Nihongo Jozu is basically like, so this is what you get in Japan if you speak somewhat good Japanese. People will be like, your Japanese is good to. Nihongo Jozu desu ne. But in reality though, when you get that, what they mean is, your Japanese is so-so, but I'm gonna just say that to you because I want to be nice to you, because, you know, it's our culture, and I think being polite is so important than anything else. That's what we mean, and I have to vouch, it's true. So, yeah, if you speak Japanese and the Japanese people like tell you something like, Nihongo Jozu desu ne, yeah, that literally means like, your Japanese is so-so, but I mean, I'm gonna just say that to you because I want to be nice. So, it's not an insult. It's not an insult. Like, it's actually a compliment. But in Japan, we are just so focused on being polite. So we say that to you, like, no matter what. And we just say, Nihongo Jozu desu ne, your Japanese is good. but in reality that means like, oh, your Japanese is so, but I'm gonna say that to you. And Paul Revere, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So but the thing about it is though, so the thing about it is why it's an insult. Not it's not really an insult, but like why it's sort of like an insult is because anime man is a great example. Again here, so this is how he speaks Japanese, right?
こういうのなかなかはめない。
And again, his Japanese is like so great and just he sounds insanely fluent. So we cannot tell, like, we just cannot tell like if he was actually born and raised in Japan or not. It's like he's like at that level. Again, it's impossible for me, like for us to like actually know what nationality he has. So he's like at that point, right? So we are not gonna just go up to him and be like, your Japanese is good, 日本語上手ですね, because it's just so good to the point like where we think he is Japanese. So yeah, that's what I mean. So like if you are actually really good at Japanese, like we don't even talk about like how good your Japanese is, right? It's the same in English, by the way. It's not like passive aggressive or anything, by the way. And it's the same in English, by the way. If your English is actually really great, people are not gonna tell you like how good your English is. You don't get that, because I don't get that. Think about it, dude, everybody. Wait, think about it. But before that, let me just read the donation. Anwick, thank you so much for the donation. Paul Revere, thank you so much for the donation. Let me tell you something really interesting, everybody. So here's the thing. Wait, why don't you guys tell me my English is good? Like freaking every time I upload videos, why not, dude? Can you guys please just give me a compliment, like how good my English is, please? Because I never get that and I want attention. I want attention. Can you guys praise me? I want attention. Please tell me my English is good. So yeah, I finally got some comments. Some nice comments like this. I really appreciate it. So now everybody is saying my English is good, right? And this is my first time ever to actually get a comment like this. Let me tell you something. If you are actually good at speaking something, they never tell you like, oh, your Japanese is good, your English is good. You never get that. I never get that in my entire life. I've never gotten that actually. They just instantly assume that you kind of have been like speaking English for a long time, so that like they don't even have to like tell you that your English is great. They instead ask you like, how did you learn English? I get that everywhere. Instead, if you see like comments, people ask me all the time like, hey, how did you learn English? Instead of like, your English, oh, instead of like, your English is great. You know what I mean though? So that's what I mean. That's the same in any languages. It's not the, it's the same in like any languages actually. And thank you so much for the donation, Anwick. I forgot to write something. Haha. I was going to say that I love you, bro. I love you too. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much. And Super Donor Lamakan, Oppai. Thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate it. Nicole Brownova. I agree. At the train station in Kyoto, I said only one word in Japanese when I was buying a bento box, and the lady told me that my Japanese was good. Yeah. Again. When people tell you you are good at something, it literally means I don't really care much about you, but your Japanese is kinda better than I thought it would sound, so I'm gonna just tell you you sound good in Japanese, so your Japanese is good. 日本語上手ですね. That's literally like what the intention is behind it. So, and E-roll W Unchi, thank you so much for telling me that. So yeah, again, it's not anything bad. It's not really anything bad. Like when people tell you like your Japanese is good, it's not anything like, it's not an insult or anything, but it definitely means we can tell you are working on it really hard. So I'm gonna just be polite, but yeah, there are things to work on, because we can tell you just probably came to our country. Like that's the intention behind it, 90% of the time. So Is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? It's a good thing, 100%. That's just one thing. Because again, if you're exotic, you'll get good attention everywhere. It's the same like in any countries actually. So what I was trying to say is so again if let me ask you guys a question. I'm Japanese, right? If I go to your country, like I don't know where everybody's from, but if I go to your country, do you think I can get popular in the country? Yes or no? I don't know where everybody's from, but say yes or no. Yes means I can get popular in the country. No means I cannot get popular in the country. Yes or no? Ready, go. So all those people saying yes are the people who like exotic things. And in some countries, I wouldn't even get any attention because, you know, I mean, some people say that I look way too girly or something. But, so here's the thing. Being exotic or like sounding unique, being different is really, it's a perk. Like seriously, just try to be freaking different from them. But the thing about it is though, like there are a lot of but before that, let me just read the donation. Katorado Radcat, how did you learn English? Thank you so much for the donation. I will talk about that later as well. But let me just first talk about this. So what I was talking about was so there are a lot of Japanese people who want to be American. So they try to act American and they try to wear like some American stuff and they kind of try to act American and they just eat American stuff, and the way how they talk is like obviously influenced by Americans, and we call them like なんていう名前でしたっけあれ、そのアメリカかぶれだ。アメリカかぶれ。We call them アメリカかぶれ。アメリカかぶれ。So it's basically like a weave, but like for Americans. We call them アメリカかぶれ. And the thing about it is, if you're like アメリカかぶれ, if you try to act American, and if you are in America, you will lose your attraction, as in like your uniqueness will be gone and you cannot really be popular that way. I mean, if you're trying to be American as Japanese and if you are in America, then there's nothing interesting about you anymore. You're Japanese, and if you're in America, you can be popular because you're exotic, right? So, ウィーブのアメリカバージョン、それ本当に。So like, you know, in America though, I might get some attention because I look like this, I act like this, and I sound like this. I don't even sound American, and I don't even like try to sound American. There are a lot of things like that I sound like that I try to sound differently from American, like from what Americans say, because I want to sound unique and different because I like attention basically. So being unique, being exotic is like what gets you popular. Why would you try to be American? Because they like Americans. I like Americans too, but I still want to get attention in America rather than being American. So, yeah, I will just be like this and go to America and get attention because I'm an attention whore. So that's literally the point of like this whole stream. You should be yourself. You shouldn't even freaking try to actually sound Japanese, because nobody's gonna be actually interested in you. Like if you sound fluent, it's sort of like the same for. Like same for same in this case as well, like where anime man sounds so fluent to the point like where we can tell if he's actually Japanese or not. So he will be just Japanese in Japan because we really cannot tell if he's Japanese or not, because his Japanese is way too great, right? Whereas Dogen, this is not Dogen. In Dogen's case, like we can sort of tell. He's not really Japanese because he's fluent, by the way. He's 100% fluent, but we can tell he's not Japanese, and we will think he's really smart and intelligent and interesting because he's exotic, because he's American. You know what I mean? And he's not really trying to act like, how do I explain this? Joe is half Japanese. Yeah, I know, but like, so what I'm trying to say is, he's actually Australian, as in like he was born and raised in Australia, right? But he was not really born and raised in Japan, right? So, what was I even talking about? I forgot. But let me just answer your question. How did you learn English? So, in my case, I really didn't learn English. 注目されたい人と溶け込みたい人がいるんでしょう。日本人だと育ち的に拙者が多いんじゃない？これも、自分の経験上だとどっちもどっち。本当に注目されたいというか、その人に与える印象がどうなるかってところなんですよ。溶け込むって言っても結局行動すればするほど浮くんですよね、人間って。だから行動しないと浮かないってことなんですよ。だから言語を学ぶその行動そのものがもう注目を集める存在になっちゃってるんですよ、実は。だから注目集めたくない人って何もしないんですよね、最終的なところが。だからもう学びもしないで話もしないんですよ。だから結論として出てくるのが、外国人で日本に20年ぐらいいるけど日本語喋れない人っているじゃないですか。あれなんでかなって思ってて、結論彼らは注目を集めたくないから日本語を話そうとしないんですよ。浮きたくないから。英語だけで過ごす。でもそれでも浮いちゃうからなんですけど、そのミスってる自分を見られたくないっていうのがあるんですよね。だからまあこれ心理学の話になっちゃうんですけど、もともと自分がそっちをずっと勉強してた人間だったんで。Anyways, so how I learned English is I basically didn't learn English. I kind of grew up speaking English and Japanese. How I learned it is like basically I don't know, I just have been speaking English and Japanese both with my friends and like with the people around me. So I never really took any education in English. I mean, I sort of did, but not really. So how did I learn it? Nothing. I didn't do anything. I've never really tried to put effort into learning English. I've never really tried to like, you know, talk with, I don't know, some like English speaking people or anything. I've never done that. So yeah, I don't know. I never did anything. It's kind of like how you guys learn English. It's the same thing. So I just picked up like things naturally that way in Japan. And that's kind of why I sound like this, and that's kind of why I sound dumber in English, because I've never really taken any actual education in English, so that like there are a lot of things I don't know, such as like I don't even know how to say 塩化ナトリウム。なるほどですね。確かに日本人が留学したのは英語が上手くならないけど、それもそれで結局その、心理学的な話になっちゃうんですけど、行動を重ねれば重ねるほど人間って注目を集めるんですよ、絶対に。これもどんなことでも同じ。行動をすると注目度が上がっていく。でその注目度が嫌いな人は何もしなくなるんですよね。だから結果的にその留学してもできないっていうのはそこに当たるんですよ。注目を集めたくない、失敗しているところを見られたくない。で出てくるのが行動しない。じゃあできなくなってしまう。自分の場合逆で、行動する時のその注目は自分求めてたんですよね。いわゆる自分そのかまってちゃんだから。だから自分の場合行動することによって注目を集める。その注目が好きだったから別になんか何でもできたというか、できたというか抵抗はなかったというか。Alright, so yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, and Sativa989, quick question, do you listen to Vocaloid? You bet the Luca God is my favorite planetary suicide. Thank you so much for the donation. I don't really listen to Vocaloid. バイリンガルですか？バイリンガルなのかな？バイリンガル、probably バイリンガルなのかな？わかんない。どうなんだろう？わかんない。Am I bilingual? Wait. Am I bilingual? Am I bilingual? Yes or no? Am I bilingual? Am I bilingual? But again, I don't, what is the definition of like freaking being bilingual though? Because the word bilingual sounds like, it just sounds so awesome because like it really sounds like you're smart, but in reality, I'm dumb. I say poop and pee-pee everywhere. I don't really think I wanna consider myself as like bilingual just because it sounds so smart, and I really don't like any smart things about myself, so I'm gonna just call myself bilingual. Nah, not bilingual, but like yeah, poop. Never mind. Alright, poop. And fat gaijin. Ever thought about learning another language? No, never. I'm not really interested in learning languages. So here's the thing. A lot of people assume that I'm into linguistics and phonetics. I'm actually not interested in that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in like learning English, Japanese, or anything. So that's kind of why I sound dumb. I say dumb stuff. 英語か日本語でどっちで考える。その時に話してる言語で。So think about it. Let me tell you. I've never really thought about learning another language. Do I want to learn another language? No, I don't want to because I know it takes a lot of time. Am I into linguistics? No, I'm not because I don't think it's necessary. I'm really practical. So, am I into phonetics? Do I care about how some things should be pronounced and whatever? No, because I really think uniqueness is important, and that's what gets me some attention. Never mind. But yeah, I grew up being bilingual. Being a Mexico in America is el hardo. Tokidoki I'm tired and bored. That's actually a great sentence right there. Being a Mexico in America is el hardo. I'm gonna say that myself. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation. And Super Donor Lamakan, you would become one of the most popular guys in the Netherlands because we have no Japanese people here. So you're going to become popular, and I'm also learning Japanese. Cliche, right? I'm playing VR chat because of you. Without you, I would have never known it. See, being unique is what gets me attention. I'm Japanese so that I get attention in the Netherlands. Amazing. Try to be unique, everybody. Don't even try to sound fluent in Japanese. I mean, I guess if you want to do that, then just do that. But try to sound yourself because that's what people like. People like exotic things. You get it? You get it. I guess you like attention. I do. I like attention. I like attention and approval. I like it when people see me. I like when people give me comments. I like it when people talk about me. I like when people mention me because I am an attention whore. I like attention way too much to the point when people say my name itself gets me really hyped up. It's weird. I'm an attention seeker, you get it? If I'm not an attention seeker, I wouldn't have done like you know what though? I wouldn't do YouTube if I'm not an attention seeker. I do YouTube just because I like attention. Do I do so? This is something I get from like a lot of people. So like, why do you do YouTube, Sora? I have a lot of reasons. And people ask me like, is it for money? Is it for like your future? Is it for like papa? No, I want attention. More than anything, I want attention. Any attention's fine. Narcissist? I really don't think I'm cool or anything. I actually believe I'm a nerd. I believe that I'm dumb. So yeah, I don't really want to think I'm a narcissist. I'm aware of like how stupid I am. So does that make me a narcissist? I'm not really sure. But I like attention. So, and I kind of just, I didn't admit it before, but I kind of just started like admitting it because I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm an attention seeker. So I was like, but yeah, and Super Donald Malcolm. I've never donated to a streamer in my life, but here you go, man. You deserve it. Without you, I would have never known VR chat and have great friends. So thank you so much for the donation as well. Thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate it. I really hope you are having a great time in VR chat, especially with Japanese people. So, Elmax, how much did you earn as an English teacher? Can you guys guess how much I used to get a month as an English teacher before? Teaching English in Japan. Can you guys guess? By the way, so on average, I'm currently 29. If you are 29, you get about like $3,000 a month. You get about $3,000. That's like average. So average is $3,000, and I'm 29. Average is 3,000. $3,000. That's average. How much I got when I was a teacher was $1,000 a month. It was not worth it. It was not worth it. It was not worth it. That's sort of why I quit as well. It was not worth it. And I had to freaking prepare for every class I did before too. Like I had to freaking spend 1 hour, 2 hours for like freaking every class I did, and I was like, damn man, is it really worth it? And I was like, no, it's not worth it. Alright, I'm gonna freaking quit the job. Bye. And I freaking quit it. It was not that easy. I actually thought about it for a year or like 2 years, but yeah, I mean, it was like that before, so I mean. And Barudi Kashikoi, thank you so much for the donation. What do you like calico cats? And what do you think of my name? It's Japanese. Barudi Kashikoi. I do like calico cats actually. I like cats actually. なんで今日は珍しく夜に配信してるんですか？夜もやることにしました。最近。And your name, yeah, that sounds awesome. I don't know like what Barudi is, but Kashikoi is smart, right? Smart. What's Barudi? But I think your name is amazing. Thank you so much for the donation. And I don't know how to read this, but thank you so much for the donation. Atsuki JP. Hey, also main son. We say meet this is us. I think so too. Thank you so much for the donation. And Bardi Kashikoi, your mom, thank you so much for that. Paul Revere for the beers. Much love from New York, dude. I like New York too, so thank you so much for the donation. And I'm a sim for Sora. Bardi, thank you so much. And Doge from San Antonio. 昨日氷が降った. One of my friends got hail damage on his car. May is the craziest month for weather here in South Texas. Wish us luck. I wish you luck. Have a great day. And Bardi Kashikoi, thank you so much again. I literally gave you all my money. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourself more than me. I really appreciate like all the donations, but I really want you guys to have a like better life. So, but thank you so much though, either way. And Psychic Slashy. I love being unique, but I don't like attention. Very conflicting. But you inspired me to not care as much about how I sound when speaking, be myself. Let me talk about it. So again, so I know like it really sounded like I was talking about like getting attention from people. But what I'm saying is, if you sound foreign, if you sound unique, then people are gonna think you are smart. Like that's the point of it. That's the point. So if you're scared of like speaking Japanese just because people might think you're dumb for sounding foreign or like saying some ungrammatical things, no, you shouldn't be worried about it. Because like if you sound foreign or like if you make mistakes and whatever, as long as you are talking to Japanese people, they will think you are smart. Like that's the point of my like whole stream. So because like, you know, your first language is not Japanese, right? Like when we can tell you are not from Japan, then we will think like, oh my god, this guy's really smart because he speaks 10 freaking languages and I can't. That's what I mean. Do you get it? So yeah, so it's not really about getting attention, but it's really about people thinking that you are smart or sounding foreign. It's the same in any languages. It's the same in English as well, by the way. And you feel for it for Thundercross Split Attack. What was it like teaching Japanese English? Freaking high schoolers came up to me and asked me every day how to say touching oneself in English. And I was like, if you really want to know, I'll teach you this website. I mean, I'll just teach you how to use this one website called Google Translate. Google Translate is a tool, but when it comes down to translating a word into English, it works really well. So if you go on to Google Translate and put some word on it, it will tell you how to say that. That kind of happened every day before. And Jenny, it's Sumin in Korean. Is it really? Hello Sumin, thank you so much. And Bardi Kashkoi, my foot itches. Thank you so much for telling me that. And Katora the Rat Cat, what is something that is not acceptable in Japan? Being loud? Being loud. What if I told them that I learned from anime? That's like freaking one of the best things you can say though. Say it, cause I mean, alright, so 同じ人種の外国人だったバカにそれはこれはあまり触れたくなかったんですけど、これもあって、これも理由は分かります。これもちゃんと理由は説明できるところがあって、これも結局その being exotic、なんか海外っぽい日本人と離れてるってところが重要なんですよね。だから日本人と近いところがあるとやっぱそうなってしまう。だ違ければ違うほどいいって思われる。でも同じ人種でもいずれにしろその言語を喋ることができれば頭いいって思われます。絶対これどの国でも同じだったはず。ちょっと自信ない。But what is not something? Yeah, again, so being loud. If you are loud, if you are loud, especially on a train, people are gonna freaking just call you out for it. So don't be loud in Japan. And BTS Amajin, your life is more important than mine, Sora. Thank you so much for telling me that, but I kind of doubt it. For me, my life is important, but for you, I think your life itself is like a lot more important for you, and your parents probably like you as a person a lot more than me. So please take care of yourself as well. So, Bardi Kashikoi, I'm using my mom's credit card. Thank you so much. And Saisai1988, I've seen ads on Facebook offering some 15万円 for foreigners who will teach English. By the way, I think you're a cool guy. I wish that I have a friend like you. Thank you so much for telling me that. But in reality, I get a lot of people who kind of tell me that I sound like a nerd and act like a nerd. And yeah, thank you so much for telling me that. I really don't think I'm cool or anything. People tell me I'm cringy everywhere. Do you guys think I'm cringy? Am I cringy? See, all the comments are saying yes. Oh my gosh, I'm cringy. Right, so yeah, everybody thinks I'm cringy, right? So that's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm cool or anything, but like a lot of people are saying like, yeah, Sora's cringy and Sora's weirdo, yeah, Sora's stupid, so yeah, right, so that's what I'm saying, but thank you. And Bardi Kashikoi, guys, I'm gonna leave now. Sayonara Sora, thank you so much for the donation, I really appreciate it. Yes, but that's a good thing. Thank you so much for giving me a compliment, but I don't know, I don't really think being cringe is like a great thing. One. And what was it again? What's his Matt versus Japan? So his Japanese is really good. And again, so the thing about it is like I know about him by the way, because like his Japanese is so good. The thing about the thing about this is like if you are good at Japanese, then you are good at Japanese. And what's up, the anime man Joey? By the way, so I'm actually really honored to see you here, but I kind of really just wanted to talk about like how do I explain this? I don't know, but like I really just wanted to talk about how like sounding foreign itself is like a lot more important than like sounding like a native. You know what I mean though? I think Joey gets it as well. Like, so this is what I was literally talking about. So I was giving some people like some examples of like what I mean. I'm sorry, but let me just play your stuff again. So what I was talking about was I think I kind of told you this like before in one of my comments like on my channel, but your Japanese is just way too good to the point I really cannot believe like you were born and raised in Australia, and I still think like your Japanese is like legit 20 times better than mine, because I've been watching your stuff, by the way, and you do a lot of like kanji quizzes and stuff, right? The thing about it is, so this is like what I was literally saying. Your Japanese is too good to the point where we cannot believe you were born and raised in Australia. Like, you're that good. So, and I was also talking about Dogen at the same time. So what I was saying, but you were Japanese, yeah, so it's not what I'm saying though. Like, so what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm Japanese, but like, I think you're into linguistics as well, as in like you probably are interested in like how languages work and like how to pronounce some like certain things like better and whatever, right? In my case, I'm not really interested in like linguistics or anything. What I'm interested in is like being stupid and cringy, like like that kind of stuff, because like that's just what my life is all about, being stupid and cringy. That's what I'm interested in. So, and I recently noticed like the way how you speak Japanese is like a lot more, I don't know, linguistics をめっちゃ独学した時期はあった。もうこの時点でもうだってもう言ってますもんね。自分は So I've never really studied like linguistics or anything. And the thing about it, so alright, so this is like also what I was talking about, and I really need your opinion about this as well. And so here, ゴキブリ出てたかな？出てないです。So here, Joey, so this is what I was talking about, and I need your opinion on this as well. So ready? So here's the thing. This is how you speak Japanese, right? And you freaking sound like a Japanese guy, and it's really impossible for us to tell whether you were born and raised in Japan or not. And I when I first saw your channel like 3 years ago or something, I honestly thought you were like born and raised in Japan. I had no doubt about it. So I was like, okay, so this guy probably just learned Japanese in Japan because he's Japanese and he freaking sounds Japanese, and so his English could be second language. And I freaking found out you were, yeah, actually born and raised in Australia, right? I kind of watched a lot of your videos, by the way. So the thing about it is, Japanese people like it when you sound foreign, and you get a lot more attention when you sound foreign. Do you get it? Do you agree with me? So what I was saying is, so in Dogen's case, like his Japanese is like so freaking great, so great to the point like where we don't even say 日本語上手ですね anymore, because like he sounds so fluent. But we can still tell he's not really Japanese. Like we can tell he was born and raised in like America. He agrees with me. See, that's what I was saying. The guy himself freaking agreed with me. GG, well played. So that's what I mean. You really are supposed to sound foreign. Like it's a lot better to have an accent when you speak a language. That's why I try to sound like this when I speak English as well. I never go like, oh my gosh, like hamburgers. I don't do that because I really want to sound foreign and unique, and that's why I sound like this. So what I was saying literally was so in this case, so Dogen and your case, and I actually respect you both, but this is like what I was saying. In Japan, who gets more attention? Like so, in my opinion, Dogen could get more attention for, how do I explain this, like for sounding not really American, but like sounding fluent, but like not like an actual Japanese person. In your case, people will think you're Japanese, right? So people won't be like, oh my gosh, you're like, which country are you from? Like, oh my gosh. I don't think yeah, that happens with you. Wait, do you agree with me? Like, am I just being stupid? This is kind of something I've been silently thinking about. Or am I being stupid? I really wanted to know about this from like the actual god, anime man himself. If you're still here. Try to speak in a different accent. I can do that though very well because I'm Japanese. I get weird looks when I speak Japanese. Yeah, so the thing about it is like here's like what I mean. Here's what I mean. Like, so you know what though? So the thing about it is in his case, his Japanese is like because it sounds, yeah, so here, okay, so this is the proof. Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much. By the way, I love you, but not in that way. I love you as a person. I actually respect you a lot as a person, and I freaking kind of have been learning a lot of things from your channel, by the way. But he sounds fluent. He not just like only sounds fluent, but he sounds native, right? He sounds native. And the thing about it is, when he sounds native, Japanese people literally will be like, oh, like, you know what, like, yeah, so, he sounds native, like, oh, he probably Japanese, so that, like, yeah, ne, Anpanman suki, suki nano wakaru, that's it. That's it. So, in his case, yeah, people in Japan are gonna treat him like a Japanese guy. Like, so, if you are foreign, like when people think you're not Japanese, you will get treated like a god from my experience. I have a lot of like non-Japanese friends in Japan. They freaking get treated like gods like everywhere. It's insane. There was this one time before, アンパンマンは聞かん、まあ確かに聞かないかもしれない。アンパンマンは自分の趣味。でも、but when I go to like restaurants, with my like, you know, like non-Japanese friends, they sometimes get free food saying like, ah, Nihonへようこそ, welcome to Japan. And I'm like, what? I want that too? But I'm pretty sure, Joey, the anime man, doesn't get it. Doesn't get like a free food. Because like people will think like he is Japanese. As in like, oh, 日本人だったか。あ、日本人だったんですね。Probably people will ask him like, oh, wait, so what kind of hafu are you? あ、オーストラリア。あ、that's great. あ、okay. That's great. So people are gonna freaking treat him like, you know, Japanese, right? So I feel like he wouldn't get the perk. As in, gaijin perk, which I think is a great thing. On the other hand, I don't really think Dogen gets that either, actually, because he sounds way too fluent. That's why I sometimes stay silent on purpose. Yeah, but wait, Joey, I want to know about this. Like, have you ever done like this one thing where you kind of try to sound foreign so that you get the perk, like, you know, the gaijin perk? I do that sometimes in Japanese, both Japanese and English, both. I sometimes try to sound Japanese 100%, like when I speak English, like, oh my god, this is... English is really hard, but I try, cause I get attention, right? I sometimes do that when I speak Japanese as well, like, 日本語ちょっと難しいところがある, cause I get the gaijin perk. What am I even talking about? And Cheesy, thank you so much for the donation. And Ash Zika, what if you look Japanese but sound foreign? Oh, dude, I totally use my gaijin card when it's convenient. See, even Joey does that. I just freaking figured out the myth myself. I've been thinking about it silently for 29 years of my entire life. Joey does the same, which means the perk is definitely there. So if you sound foreign, it's a great thing. It's definitely a great thing. So that's what I mean. So like, what's a gaijin card? So gaijin card is like, it's where you become a foreigner in Japan, right? And people freaking treat you like a god. Like, from my experience, you know what happens? So this is literally what happens. So here, case one, when you were Japanese, when you were Japanese and you were like trying to buy this water thing, right? In Japan. So case one, this is like when you were Japanese. Ready? This is what happens. You were in Japan trying to buy some like water from a Japanese person. This is what happens in Japan. Ready? Oh, please give me the water. It's $1. Ah, thank you so much. $1. Thank you. That's kind of normal, but like this is literally what happens in Japan, right? If you're not Japanese, ready? Oh, the water looks great. Can I get it? Oh, Kaiju? Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm actually from I'm gonna just say the Philippines because the Philippines just came up to my mind first. Oh, I'm actually from the Philippines. Really? This is $1, but you can get it for free because welcome to Japan. Do you like Japanese food? Do you like Japanese idols AKB48? Again, if you think I'm exaggerating, no. This is legit, like what happens in Japan. Like I've been kinda... Wait. You guys get it, right? Wait. See? He's saying like that's so true. Like literally, this is what happens in Japan. And I'm not even like freaking exaggerating this. And as to this though, what if you look Japanese but sound foreign? In that case, you'll still be popular. Because again, if you are not Japanese, like if you were exotic, like people, so like, my sub major in university was like it was English. I'm not English, but like psychology. My actual major was like in translation, but like my sub major was in psychology. So psychologically, people are interested in something they've never seen, right? Like if it's something new, they'll be like, What the hell is that? What is that? I've never seen it. Oh my gosh, my face is turning red. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened in Japan. And so even if like you kind of you look Japanese but like sound foreign, people will be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like, can I know your number? Because I'm interested in you, because you were probably from like a France or something. I'm really interested in you. Oh my gosh, can I just have your number? Like that happens. I did that before. I'm sorry. When I was back in university, I did that. I freaking acted like I was not from Japan in front of like some university students, and I went like, oh, you know what? So I was actually born and raised in like Canada, and I came to Japan like when I was 7. I didn't say that, but I acted like that. You know what happened? I freaking got surrounded by like 7 different girls. I don't think they were interested in me because I'm a nerd, but like they literally freaking surrounded me for like 10 minutes. And they asked me a lot of questions about like how my life is and like how I speak English and Japanese both, and like how like do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't. Do you? If you think I do have a girlfriend, then that's interesting, because I've been single and I've been a nerd in my entire life. But thank you so much for asking me that, because I never get that question, because people instantly assume that I'm single because of the cringeness I've got. And Reito Alice, hello from Norway. I'm curious about how you feel about so many people watching you from so many different countries. So many people. I really don't think so many people watch my channel. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe I'm just used to like this life, but I don't really... Sorry. But I don't know, I really never feel anything. Again, I'm an attention whore. I like attention, so I really like it. But I think the definition of like so many people watching my channel is like when they are freaking like, I don't know, like 10,000 people like watching my stuff. I don't really think that's the case right now, so but yeah. And thank you so much though, either way. And Fat Gaijin, not trying to sound racist, but even though it is, but do white Gaijins get treated differently than Mexico gaijins? And if so, what races tend to visit more Japan? Can I actually talk about this? Yes or no? Because this is sort of like a dangerous question, isn't it? Can I really talk about it? Alright, so I'm gonna talk about it. So, what gaijins get treated differently? As in, so in a good way. Treated in a good way. And again, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to do it without trying to sound racist. I'm gonna just do it for like educational purposes. But, so, he will get treated really well, Dogen. I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of good attention in Japan. He will get treated really well. Joey's case, I think people are gonna think he's just Japanese. I don't really think he will get the perk, but he might. He might, cause he's hafu, right? So yeah, he will get treated really well. And Sea Dog, Connor, he definitely gets treated really well in Japan. As in, like, everybody in Japan will love him. Like, people will try to buy him, like, you know, dinner and stuff. And what's his name? Ryan Higa? A bit well. In this case, he is straight up like Asian, so he looks not that exotic. So yeah, probably normal. People will be like, oh, so you are Asian, so you might be Japanese. But that's really it. I don't know if he gets treated well in Japan or not. But and what's his name? PewDiePie. He will get treated really well as well. Yeah, really well. And what's his name? Macho Man Randy Savage. People will try to stay away from him because we are so small, right? We are so small. Like, everybody in Japan is so small. So we are scared of like big things like him. So literally, so this is what happens, by the way. So like, when you are on a train, even though like there are freaking like 10 seats open, like not 10 seats open, but like, you know how if you're in Japan, you have to agree with me. Like, literally, when you sit on a seat on a train, people around you disappear, right? If you're like not Japanese, if you just sit on a seat and wait for like freaking 10 seconds, 20 seconds, they disappear. That tends to happen to everybody. And in Randy, so Matchman Randy Savage, like in his case, he probably experiences it like a lot more than any other people. In my honest opinion. Why? Because we are not used to like, yeah, you know, seeing exotic things. We like exotic things, but like when they are actually there, we are so scared of them. But there are like some exceptions. When there are some Japanese people who like exotic people, like who like foreigners, we call them gaijin hunters, they will literally sit right next to you. They will not say anything. They'll be like, I want him to talk to me in English because I want to learn English. Please, talk to me in English. I want to learn English. They do that. It's crazy, isn't it? So, yeah, that's what I mean. And, I don't know, but... So, if you are big, people will treat you kind of, not really in a bad way, but they will freaking try to stay away from you. If you are small, like... I'm not gonna say Joey is small because I think he's really tall. I think he's like 180 something centimeters tall, but he's like not like big as in Matchman. You know what I mean? So yeah, he will be fine. And he kind of looks Japanese in a way too. And Dogen, I don't think he's like that big either. So yeah, I think he will be fine. But if you look like this, Matchman Randy Savage, people will be like, so yeah. わざと横に座る人間かもしれん。それは多分海外の文化とかに興味があってもっと習いたいからですよね。海外の文化もしくは英語だったり言語だったり単純に海外の友達欲しいっていう日本ではレアな存在。割と 2% 以下しかいないと思ってます。クラスの中に2人いるかいないかみたいなレベル。And Ray to Alice, for me, when people notice when I have an accent or that my accent isn't English enough, I get embarrassed. Also, do you have a public Discord server? I don't, but I don't think you should get embarrassed for it though. A lot of people think like your accent sounds so sexy. I get that from like a lot of people as well, and that's kind of why I try to sound different, like on purpose. I sometimes try to sound foreign when I'm even like speaking in Japanese as well, because I want to get the perk. I don't even have it because I'm Japanese, but 人種関係なくでかい人の隣には座んないわ。Yeah, that's literally what it is. So like, you know what though? Some people say like, I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I'm gonna just straight up like tell you guys the truth from my experience. Some people say something like, oh, Japanese people are scared of black people. Japanese people try to stay away from black people. No, it's not that. I figured out this interesting formula. So they are not scared of black people or anything. A lot of people say that, but it's not that. Black people tend to be a lot more like muscular, and there are a lot of like big people. Basically, if you're black, because like they are really muscular. That's what they are scared of. That's what Japanese people are scared of. It's the same. If you are Asian, if you are white, if you are big, Japanese people will be freaking like boom, they will disappear. Like that's what it is. Because the thing about it is, I had this one black friend when I was back in university, and he was really short and small. Nobody really was scared of him. Like he actually had a lot of Japanese friends as well, because like nobody really was scared of him, and he kind of was small and he was kind of shy as well. He was black, by the way, but yeah, he didn't really like get any bad impression. I mean, like how do I say this? Japanese people didn't get like any bad impression about him because he was so small and he was so shy, and he was like how do I explain this? He basically was the same as like other Japanese people's like body sizes. Does that make any sense? What about Indian? Again, it's all about your body size. How big are you? If you are small, then people will be like, okay, you are small. If you are big, then it's like instant freaking DC right there, real life. So, and a Katorado Rat Cat, Harry Potter in Japan is so funny. Is it any different? I'm not really sure. Yeah, so like it's literally what it is though, from my experience. Like I mean, so it's not like really gaijins they are scared of, it's just big people they are scared of. Like it's literally what it is. If you are short, people will be like, oh my god, you are so cute. Oh my gosh, like can I touch you? Can I? You get that. I think it's the same in any countries too though. So I'm sort of short because I'm like only 170 centimeters tall, like I'm 5'7". I'm not really that short, but I'm not big. So when I go out, I sometimes get some good attention because I'm kind of small as a person as well. I'm not really like that muscular or anything. People will just kind of come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, you look so cute. And I know like they are trolling me, like when they tell me stuff like that. But I get some good stuff for being kind of short and small. They never tell me I'm hot or anything. I never get that. They tell me I look like a nerd. But still. And Adil bin Harun, thank you so much for the donation. Love you, Sora Sensei from India. Unchi, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. So, I saw a video once that said Japanese women like muscular foreigners, but do you think this is true? No, I think it's just all about your preference. Like, again, some people are into girls who have big butt. Some people are into girls who have a flat, Yeah, it's all about like their preference. So I mean, and what was I talking about? I was talking about freaking random things within like 10 seconds. So I really forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about this cringy YouTuber called Sorada Troll. Like, I really think we should report him. I have to log in to report myself. Can I report YouTubers for being cringe? Matt versus Japan. Yeah, I think I was talking about him too. So, again, how do I explain it? Like, so what I wanted to say in this stream is like, there really is not such thing as like being good at Japanese. I mean, well, like, being fluent in Japanese. I mean, there is, but you have to care about it only when you want to be a writer. Like, I don't know, something like a translator probably. But like after like some certain level, like what matters the most is like, it's not really about how fluent you are, but what matters the most is like how friendly you are. Like, that's what matters more than anything. Do you sound friendly when you are speaking Japanese? Like, that's what matters. Like, it literally is all about like, so why are languages there? It's to just have it's to communicate with people, right? So it's not that important like whether you're really fluent in Japanese or not, like whether you know freaking like 1,000 different kanji characters or anything. It doesn't really matter. What matters the most is like how friendly you sound, how good person you are. Like, that's the most important. Unless you're into linguistics and you think like, you know, linguistics is like the most entertaining thing in the world. Soペニスを熱唱するやつは本当に通報できそう。自分で結構一回通報してみたんですけど、yeah, so he's saying, I really feel like we can report a guy who sings a song about penis. And the thing about it is like, I sang the penis song, right? So I uploaded this video and I disliked it myself. This is not on my channel. I uploaded this video like about a year ago and I didn't like it myself, so I disliked it because I was like, what the hell is this cringy video? I disliked it myself and I actually even reported the video myself to see what happens. It didn't get demonetized or anything. The monetization is still there. And yeah, I guess it's just what it is. I actually report my videos sometimes for just being way too cringe and stupid. I don't know. I just, like, I wouldn't watch my channel myself, is what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense. Does that make any sense? I don't know. And who else? What's his name? What's that one YouTuber? PewDiePie. Japanese. And thank you so much for the donation, Ray to Alice. If you want to share fan art, where can you do it? This is how you do it. Go to Twitter. And I sometimes, I don't have an account on Twitter myself because I really don't think sticking to the internet itself is like healthy for me. So I don't really use Twitter myself, but here, Sorada Troll. This tag. Actually, it's hashtag Sorada Troll. Wait, it's this one. Use this hashtag and just tweet something at me. So, like this one. like this. And then I might just get your stuff. I don't have a Twitter myself, by the way, so. And thank you so much for the donation. Fat Moss Realm. Here's a donation for reporting your own videos. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. But nothing really happened after that. Is PewDiePie popular in Japan? And again, I think I made a video about this. We probably have to watch this together because nobody knows about PewDiePie in Japan, really. PewDiePie. So basically, this is what it is. Yeah, so yeah, that explained everything, right? So nobody really knows about PewDiePie in Japan. And I think PewDiePie like once came to Japan and nobody noticed him, so it was like really peaceful for him. It's like what I heard. And PewDiePie speaks Japanese.
Konnichiwa, hashimimashite, Felix-san desu. After my trip in
He
Japan,
called himself son.
I have learned some awesome level of anime skill. Sugoi desu ne.
He likes us. あなたの名前は何ですか?
So here's the thing. If you are not Japanese, you might think something like, oh my gosh, his Japanese is not fluent. Oh my gosh, my Japanese might be better. You might have a, you might have an like opinion like that. But if you're Japanese, you probably might be thinking something like, oh my gosh, PewDiePie sounds cute. I think he's cute. You might have a, you might be thinking like this. So that's what I mean. Sounding foreign is definitely a perk. It's definitely a good thing.
Felix-san desu.
So his Japanese is not really that fluent. So if you were like learning Japanese, you might be thinking something like, oh my god, his Japanese is not good. But if you are Japanese, you should be thinking something like, oh my gosh, he sounds so cute.
After my trip in Japan, I have learned some awesome level of anime skill. Sugoi desu ne.
He likes us.
So that's definitely a perk. That's a perk. See, like this guy is Japanese and he's saying like kawaii, cute. So yeah, it's definitely a great thing to sound foreign and like to be unique. You know what I mean? And Pokeyman69, love you, Sora Sensei. By the way, how is Apple Guy and Discord Girl doing? I really haven't seen them like recently. Well, like so. There was this one Discord server like we used to use before. Sora the Troll, how to say? Underwear. I think it's like Discord. So you know how there are like a lot of people there before, right? We used to use like this server, and that's why like Apple Guy and like Discord Girl were there. Nobody uses that server anymore, including myself, because like we do different things now. And I think Apple Guy, I think he's been, I don't really know what he's been doing recently. I just know he has been playing some games with his friends in real life. Discord Girl, I think she has been playing some VR chat with like her VR chat friends. But yeah, I don't really think any people use that server anymore. Like so, this guy right here, he's like the owner of the server, and I don't think he uses the server anymore. And I think I was really close to this person as well, but I don't really think he uses the server anymore. So I mean, it's been 2 years since then. So yeah, I mean, we have been kind of doing like different things. So yeah, that's basically it. So I don't really know, but if you are curious, they have Twitter accounts. Are you guys still friends? I guess we are friends. And is it like a... Wait, I'm really curious, but like... Is it like a foreign thing where like you just stop being friends with people? Wait. I'm really curious, but let me just read the donation now. It's Sora Sensei at Tsundere with cringe. Adil bin Haroon. Thank you so much for the donation. I think so. But yeah, here, let me ask you guys a question. Is it like a thing where you guys just like stop being friends with like some certain people after a while? I never hear that in Japan. Like, I never even hear this one phrase. Like, are you still friends with them? We never hear that. Yes or no? Like, does that happen a lot? Yes, no. Alright, time to explain the Japanese culture. Japanese culture. 星野源知ってますよ? So again, the question itself to Japanese people is really, it's weird because like we don't just stop being friends with like some people like when you're friends with them. Like again, like so like I guess if there was some kind of drama such as like you know they had a huge fight or like they had a huge argument, then I guess like it could be a thing. But again, in Japan though, there's like this one word which is kizuna, or like not kizuna but en だな、おそらく。So we have like these like you know two words, and kizuna is kind of like a bond, and en's like what's en? En. Edge. I don't really think it's edge. Yeah, I don't really think there's like a you know translation for this one word specifically. Yeah, it can't mean anything apparently. So, M basically means like how to explain it? It's like one of the things we cannot explain, right? The stirring of fate. Fate. It's not really fate though. Like so, it's like you are friends with them because there's N. You're friends with them. There's N. N があるからお友達ですね。So what I mean by that is like you just don't stop being friends with some certain people because like there's N, right? Like ご縁があるからそんなねすぐ友達辞めますないんじゃないかな。So literally this one question, are you guys still friends? I get that from non-Japanese people only. I never get that question in Japan. Like まだ友達ですか? I never get that. I mean, again, if there was some kind of like a huge drama that everybody knows, then we might still ask that question, like まだ友達ですか? But aside, like いや絵の説明むずい、ほんとそれ。So like if you know somebody is not in that kind of situation, I don't really think we just stop being friends with like some people though randomly like that. That's what I mean. So do you still talk? That's a better question, I guess. Do you still talk? But like that kind of sounds like I don't know, like that really sounds kind of wrong to me as well because do you still hang out? If you ask me like do you still hang out, that kind of I don't know makes sense to me because you know I mean we have different friends to hang out with, so like we sometimes hang out with different people and we sometimes don't hang out with like some certain people. But like yeah, if you ask me something like do you talk with them, like are you still friends with them, like it kind of gives me some weird feeling because like we don't just suddenly stop talking to people. まだ友達ですかって言われたら怖い。本当それなんですよね。なんでだろうと思って。Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like we don't have like that part of like culture we like in Japan. So again, Japanese people will likely to be friends with フレンドって本当は親友の意味だっけ？いや、普通の友人だと思いますよ。親友だって best friend とか言いますもんね。なんて言うとしたんだっけ？ So in Japan though, you don't suddenly stop being friends with people. We don't do that because like if you do that, like why would you do that? Even if you can have an argument with like some people, you don't just stop being friends with people. We have a lot of like friends. We have like a lot of you know different people to hang out with. So sometimes like we hang out with like different people so that we might not hang out with like some certain people for a while, but it doesn't mean we are not friends with people anymore. That's loyalty. And I think it's the culture in Japan though. Like I have so many people I know so many people that know about me, that can still talk to me on my contacts list, but I haven't still like hang out with them like for a while. Like I know like a lot. I have so many friends like that, and I think it should be the same in any countries as well. Dramas, from my experience, Nippon Marathon. Yeah, that's me. Nippon Marathon. That's me. From my experience, so I play a lot of games on the internet. I play a lot of like online games. From my experience, American people have more drama than we do in Japan. Like, things tend to happen so quickly, and suddenly there's drama, and suddenly, you know, she doesn't like him, he doesn't like him. Suddenly that happens like out of nowhere, from my experience. So I was like, why is that? But I guess it's just a culture, I don't know. And wait, is it still working? Let me just watch my own stream myself, because I feel like it's telling me it's not working anymore. Oh, it's working. Okay, it's working. Alright. Sorry for being stupid. And Faztrax 1980? Should you date your childhood friend? If you want to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to, then just go ahead and do it. So, the question to ask is, how do Japanese establish friends? In America, people are more flippant with who they call friends, and so they end up getting rid of those friends. We don't do that. Like, getting rid of friends? Oh, here. Culture outside of Japan, especially in Western countries, the culture is more about like being individual. Culture in Japan just so collective. We do things as a group. We do things as a group, and you just cannot do things by yourself. You cannot stand out. If you do things by yourself, then why are you doing things by yourself? You should work as a team. That's like what it is. So you don't just like stop being friends with people suddenly, saying like, oh, I want to ditch him. Like, that doesn't really happen in Japan. Like, literally, let me talk about something really interesting. That this part of culture doesn't probably exist in foreign countries. Let me explain. So Rachel Alice, thank you so much for the donation. Bold, someone asking Sora for dating advice. I'm the worst person to ask that kind of question to, because I don't know anything about like dating. I've never really dated a lot of people. I only had one girlfriend before in my entire life. But here in Japan, so this is what it was like. So I used to work for this swimming pool before. Swimming pool. And there was this one rule. And thank you so much for the donation, Face the Hellcat. Thank you so much for the nice heart. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. There was this interesting culture, like interesting rule, when I used to work for this swimming pool. When you wanted to hang out with any of the people who work for the swimming pool, you have to invite every single people. Like, that was one part of the rule. To just work for the swimming pool. You couldn't literally say, hey, do you want to just go get a drink with me? You couldn't say that. If you do that, you have to invite everybody. Why, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. You might think it's crazy, but it's a thing in Japan. For those Japanese people, you might be thinking like, is it really? It's a thing. Like, shigoto no nomikai, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Shigoto no nomikai is like, you literally have to ask everybody, right, to drink with you. It's a culture. It's like you have to do it with like everybody. So you really cannot just do, you know, those things, just where you just go up to your friends and be like, hey, do you want to go get a drink with me? You can do that, but you still like have to do it like through messages and stuff, like where nobody can, see you like inviting people. So That's what I mean. Like it's いや飲み会とかまさにそれ本当に like クラス会とかねマジでそれ You have to like invite everybody 仕事飲みに行くぞもう嫌いな人でも全員呼びますもんねあれ一応声だけかけといてとか本当にそれこれがいや so Japanese people are just saying like you know they understand what I'm saying they get it but the thing about it is you still have to kind of talk to everybody in Japan. You really cannot just like stop being friends with like some certain people after a while and be like, oh my gosh, I want to ditch him, ditch her. That doesn't happen. You really cannot do that. So, and Lord Mark, thank you so much for the donation. My man Sora is a stud. I watched him 4 years and I can verify his dating advice. Being single 4 years. Thank you so much for following my advice. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the donation. Adil bin Haroon, being single and alone, AAA Spain without the S. Thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate it. So, stop being friends doesn't mean refusing to talk to someone though. Yeah, so again, like, what I'm saying is like, I don't know. If I say something like, oh, I'm not friends with them anymore, that sounds really harsh, no? If you say something like, are you still friends with them? And if I say no, doesn't that sound harsh and rude? No? Is it just me being Japanese or like is it just me being weird? Do you know what I mean though? I don't really think people would just say like, oh, I'm not friends with them. As in like, oh, I don't talk to them. I don't really think people say like stuff like that. If you say I'm not friends with them, then like literally something happened between them, right? So that's what I mean. So yeah, if it's like normal there, then I think it's a cultural difference and we don't really do that. What we do just all based on like, you know, politeness. And a T4K, thank you so much for the donation. Excuse me, this is off topic, but I have a question. Is there any university for golfers in Japan that you recommend? I don't think so. There might be, but I don't think so. I think, I don't really think so, honestly. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think so. I might be wrong, I might be just ignorant, but as far as I know, I don't think so. But yeah, so, just lost connection. But so again, so if you want to ask me like how to say, so the thing about it is like people ask about like why did I just type understand underwear? People ask me like if I am friends with Usa-chan and the Apple guy like everywhere. I mean obviously we are still. And it's not like natural in Japan if you just like stop being friends with some people. It's not what we do. If you're friends with them, then you'll be friends with them forever. Unless something really, really harsh happens, something like they stole my things or like they killed my parents and whatever. Unless that kind of stuff like happens, we will be friends forever with like people. Basically that's how it is. And the thing about it is, I think I talked about this before, but there were other people more than like just Usa-chan and the Apple guy in the server here again. I'm friends with like all of them, so I sometimes see them, but I haven't seen any of them recently. As in like I've been kind of hanging out with different people recently, and I've been just doing different stuff recently, so that I think it's natural to happen. It just happens and don't have a certain explanation. I don't think we have that kind of stuff in Japan though. We don't just like suddenly stop being friends with people. I don't know. And I kind of feel like it's a Japanese thing for sure. And Fat Moss Realm? What is the difference between kore and kono? Alright. Kore and kono. Ready? So kore is like this is. Kono is like this. Like this apple. Like, so, これ is kind of like this is, この is this apple. Does that make any sense? Like, これ this is. この is this apple. Like, it's yeah, kind of like this. Ready? これ is basically the same as you. この is kind of like your. But it means this. 全然連絡取らなくなるようになっても友達なのかな。本当に難しい。友達じゃないですかね普通に。だって言いません？俺あいつと友達だったよとか。普通に。俺あいつと友達で言いますよね普通に割と。日本ってそういうものだと思うんですよ。そこら辺。So yeah, so here is so he just said so if I haven't talked to them like for a long time, does that still mean I'm friends with them? It's really difficult. So I think the thing about it is like you still say something like, yeah, 友達ですよ。なんか、あいつ知ってる友達で言うと思うんだけどな。Like, oh yeah, I'm friends with them. I think you say that in Japan. In Western countries, you say, in fact, you say something like, I used to be friends with them. You say that in Western countries. But it doesn't mean like anything harsh. It just means like, I used to hang out with them, right? Like, that's what it means. In Japan, you never say that. You never say like, I used to be friends with them. Like, if you were friends with like some people at some point of your life, then you will be friends with them forever. So you will say like, ah, 友達だよ, like they are friends. You never say like, I used to be friends. We never say that. I guess it's just a cultural difference between like Japan and like Western countries, I guess. So, and thank you so much for the donation. Ben Duncan lived in America and Japan. My American friends don't reply to me when I haven't talked to them in a while. My Japanese friends always keep in contact. So yeah, this is like one of them too. So here, yeah, it's like an end thing. You just don't stop talking to people in Japan. So I guess the thing about it is like if you make friends in Japan, they will be like your treasure forever. They will be your friends forever. We have a thing for like friends. We really take care of like our friends. And we never say that either. I think it might depend on like what kind of person you are as well, but from my experience, some Americans definitely say like I used to be friends with them like back in high school. Like you say that. In Japan, we never say used to, like かつて、昔はとかあんま言わない気がする。So, but yeah, here's the thing, like, yeah, you don't just stop talking to friends, your friends in Japan. I feel like. So, and Reito Alice, I gotta go, but first give me a good pick line to use on my friend. They are the Discord girl to my Sora, or I'm their Apple guy to their Sora. Oshiri tataite. Oshiri tataite. Spank me. Spank me. I'm gonna just leave this here. And Feisty Hellcat, thank you so much for the donation. Is there any advice how to tell someone that you are upset with them instead of just avoiding them? How to tell someone that you are upset with them? Wait, is there any advice how to tell someone that you are upset with them instead of just avoiding them? Like when Japanese people do it, you mean? Wait, what do you mean? Like in Japan? お尻叩いて言ってないやねん。いやだって I mean, isn't it kind of like what you wanted to learn? Because you said Discord girl to my Sora, right? So, yeah, if that's the case, it's お尻叩いて. No? It's 石. But yeah, in Japanese, so I'm gonna guess you were talking about Japanese, so how to tell someone you were upset with them in Japanese, right? I guess you say something like, I don't know, it's just really hard actually. You pissed me. You don't say that in Japan. You don't say you pissed me off. You don't say that in Japan. And I feel like Feisty Hellcat is talking about like Japan or like Japanese people. What we do here though is we don't even talk about like how upset we are. We just talk about like how to make it better next time. 次からしないでねとか. Like we say something like, oh, can you just stop doing that next time? And I think you will be happier that way. I feel like that's what a lot of people say. But, alright, so if I were to give you my actual advice from a guy who kind of studied psychology for a long time, let me tell you. Oh, do you want to know, actually, from like a psychological point of view, like how to tell people like that you are upset with some people in a great way? Yes or no? And by the way, there's a way to control people as well. Like, you can get people to do what you want them to do. Do you guys want to learn stuff like that? From like a psychological point of view. I actually do that a lot myself. You can definitely control people. You can control people 100%. There's like a way to do that. And Lord Mark, thank you so much for the donation. Love you all, but I gotta go as well. I will pop up again randomly in the future. Penis. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Alright, so first, let me talk about how to tell people that you were upset with some people. Let me talk about how to do that first. I really don't know how to do that actually, but if I were to tell people that I'm upset with like some people, I'm gonna say something like I don't know, I never really talk about like how upset I was about some stuff. I really don't talk about it because like talking about how upset you were about some stuff like isn't going to bring you to a better direction, in my opinion. Instead, I talk about like how to make it better next, like how to get it to a better situation next time by just not doing that. Something like so you did that last time and because of that I think this happened and I don't think it should happen anymore, so let's just make it this way so that we will be better next time. And I think what people want to hear as well, in my opinion, as in like people want to hear what they want you to do, right? So positive constructive criticism, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know, I really don't know about this. Alright, so next question, control people. Do you guys know how to do that? Yes or no? If you're curious about how to control people, I can actually legit teach you guys how to do it, and I'm gonna demonstrate how to do it. I'm gonna do that on stream. Yes or no? Isn't it like 12:20? It is, yeah. Yes? So, psychologically, there's like this proven way to control people and get people to do what you want you to do. 外人カードじゃなくて、これ日本人の人もちょっと聞いててほしいんですけど、人を自分のやってほしいことをさせる方法っていうのは存在します。Why do I know about this? I was a teacher. I had to control my students. I had to control my students to do what I wanted them to do. I learned it back then. I also read a lot of books about this as well. So this is this proven way to get people to do what you want them to do. But before that, let me just read the donation, and I'm gonna do that on this stream, like straight up. I'm gonna control you guys actually, and actually prove it that it's possible. But before that, let me just read the donation. Super Makun, thank you so much for the donation. I have some Japanese Discord friends, but I'm a little scared I'll annoy them. I try to stay in touch with them about once a week because I like to talk sometimes and recommend each other stuff. But now that I know the meaning of kimoi, I'm scared. What I want you to know is whatever things you do, you might die tomorrow, right? You might die tomorrow. So do you want to just like die tomorrow without doing what you want to do? Or like do you want to die tomorrow after doing what you want to do? Like that's how I live my life. Live as if you will die tomorrow. So like if you were to die tomorrow, like what do you want to do? Like do you want to still be scared and be afraid of like being told kimoi? Or do you want to just go up to them and do what you want to do before you die? Like I feel like that's the best way to deal with things. At least like that's how I live my life. Like, oh, if I were to die tomorrow, do I still want to do it? And if it's yes, then I do it. If I were to die tomorrow, then should I avoid this? If it's yes, then I avoid it. Like that's just like how I do things. And Baraki, thank you so much for the donation. My friend stopped to talk to one person in our group, but now they are saying it's a shame he's not in our group anymore. He was taboo during month. I actually have experienced it before, but not in Japan. Not in Japan. Even like, it's kind of weird, but like, you know, there's like this one guy everybody hates, but we still hang out with them. Like, I don't know why. I seriously never get it. Like, why Japanese people do that. Like, there's this one guy everybody hates in not my group of friends. I don't even really hang out with him, but there's this one guy everybody hates. Not in my group of friends though. Everybody hates him, but still like they hang out with them. And they talk shit about him like later on, and I just don't get it. I guess it's just like how Japan is. But Reito Alice, thank you so much for the donation. They responded with thank you so much for that, and bye now. Alright, so let me explain how to control people. I'm gonna literally just do that now. Alright, so I'm going to make you guys feel like you guys are heroes. I'm going to make you guys feel like you want to do things for me. But before that though, so this has nothing to do with the whole control thing. But alright, so first, this is a test actually. So and a Sylvia S, thank you so much for the donation. Sensei typo, yeah, I do that like on my stream. So how do I do it? I'm going to make you guys feel like you guys are heroes, and I'm going to make you guys feel like you want to do things for me from now on. Ready? So first of all, actually before that, can I just talk about how grateful I am with all of you before doing that? So you know how I have this one channel like where I do cringy stuff and stupid stuff, right? And I was actually a really depressed person like when I was 18, and I really wanted to kind of die, and I really thought nobody liked me. And but you guys are there for me, right? And I'm really happy that you guys are there for me. I'm really happy that like I have this place like where like everybody is there for me. And no, it's not really I started that. This is actually what I'm saying, like seriously. I mean, it's sort of part of like, you know, the whole thing, but like I'm actually saying this seriously, and I actually say this like in every stream. I kind of talk about it. But yeah, so I actually really appreciate like for just, I don't know, you guys for just being there. Like, you know, some people just troll me and some people do some stupid stuff and we do stupid stuff together, but yeah, I don't know. I actually feel happy about that. So, you guys are making me happy for being there for me. Doing things. Like what you guys are doing, like right now. Like all the comments and whatever. Right? I actually feel really happy for just you guys being there. Being yourself. There are like a lot of stupid comments and whatever, but I really love the stupid comments because I think it's a great community. We created the community together, right? And I think it's just really awesome. And I'm really happy for that. So, I want you guys to say poop on chat. Ready? Let's just do that together. Poop! But yeah, this is how you do it. And this is like what some psychopaths like do as well, by the way. So be careful. So and you can say poop, but this is part of like the demonstration. So how to control people is really, really easy. And so probably you guys are saying poop because it's like meme worthy, right? But at the same time, it sort of felt like you kind of want to say poop for me, right? You know what I mean? But by the way, still, like what I just said just now, I still mean it. I still mean it. I actually feel I really feel happy for just being here. Like I really mean it. That was not a lie. That was not a lie. But I'm saying that's how you control people. I just really kind of wanted to demonstrate the part like how to control people. And Rebecca White, thank you so much for the donation. You were loved. By the way, again, I mean it. I actually mean what I just said. But here's like how you control people. You talk about your feelings and say you're happy because of what you did, what you were doing, because of the way you are. So if you talk about your feelings and say, I'm happy because of your papa, you can control people. You can get everybody's heart by doing this. It's like some proven stuff. Like I actually read this from a book actually. This is like what I used to do when I taught my students, like especially the young ones, like those 6-year-olds and like those 12-year-olds. I was actually the most popular teacher back then. Like literally, I'm trying not to be a show off or anything, but if you say something like, alright, so wait, let me just read the donation. Tasty Hellcat, thank you so much for the donation. Let me just do another one. And this is again a demonstration. So here. This is just a test. I have to write this here, actually. And Adil bin Haroon, thank you so much for the donation. I'm depressed too, sensei. Don't have a reason to live. You'll find reasons to live, because I mean, if you want to die, before killing yourself, you really have to think. Like, if there's really nothing you want to do in your life. If there's like anything you want to do in your life, just go for it. It could be just playing games like 24/7. It could be like, I don't know, dating somebody and whatever. You really have to think about like what you want to do before dying. If you were to die tomorrow actually, what would you want to do? That might be a reason for you to live. Anyways, so this is just a test. Ready? So basically, that's how you control people. And I'm gonna do something really opposite. This is just a test. Ready? Wait. So, just now, you guys probably felt like you wanted to do things for me, right? Because that's like how manipulation works. This time, I'm going to do something really different, and you guys probably wouldn't even want to, do things for me. Ready? I'm gonna do something. This is just a test. I'm acting. Ready? I really have to make sure this is just acting. because I really don't want you guys to take it seriously. But ready? Wait, before that, let me just read the donation. 10k miles why? I kind of knew where that mind control was going, but I still typed poop because you had me laughing there. But thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. That was part of like the meme thing. So, ready? I really have to make sure this is just a test and I'm acting. But ready? 3, 2, 1. So, I freaking hate everybody on this channel. Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Everybody typing poop and like some stupid stuff, and I never find anything on this channel funny. I'm acting, by the way. I really don't get it. I hate everybody. I really hate everybody. Like, I freaking hate everybody, and like, I don't like anything about what you guys are doing. Like, I don't get it. It's not funny. But still, can you guys say like something for me? Because I mean, I feel nothing about you guys. I feel nothing about you guys, but still like I want you to say something. I'm acting, by the way. I really have to make sure. Can you guys freaking type piss? I mean, still like you guys are typing piss, but yeah. So basically that's like what it is. So that's but yeah, I guess I see like a lot of no's and more FU's more, right? But that's like what it is. So what I mean by that is like, if you wanted to control people, you have to show your feelings. You have to tell your feelings to people and say like, I feel happy because of the things you guys are doing. So if you guys do this for me, then I will be happy for that. Then yeah, that's how you control people. That's how you get your crush to like you as well, actually. And this is kind of like really evil, so don't even really try to... Yeah, so that's the thing. I know you were acting, but it still hurt just a little. So here's the thing. I never say any negative stuff, right? I never say any negative stuff. I never say like, oh, my viewers are dumb. I never say that, even as a joke. I never say like, oh, I hate people. I never say that as a joke, even as a joke, right? The reason why I never say any negative stuff is, even as a joke, your brain is going to like kind of think that I actually mean it. That's how like our brains work. Doing that to your crush is bad. Yeah, that's bad, but you can do that. Let me explain. So, oh, by the way, so I kind of just proved how it can hurt people even though that was acting. Or like that was still a joke, right? So, if you are hated by some people, try not to say any negative stuff. Even though it's just a joke, it's just a satire, people will still hate you for it. For some reason. I literally just freaking wrote this, right? This is just a test. I'm acting, right? Still, you felt like you didn't really like me. You hated me. You wanted to stay away from me, right? I made it so sure so many times. I even said it like 3 times while doing it. And yeah, so this is the scary part about like our brains. So don't even joke about how you hate people. Don't even joke about how you don't like something, because they will still get hurt. And again, even if so, another test. All right, so this is just a test. I'm acting. Another test. Ready? This is just a test. I'm acting. I'm gonna tell you guys I'm acting 100%. I'm 100%. Ready? This is another test. Ready? All right, so let's go. You know what though? I really love you guys, because you guys are awesome. Like, you know, whatever you guys say in the comments are really funny. And yeah, this is just really awesome, isn't it? I really am happy to be with you guys, because I really love you guys. And you know, I love you guys, and my friends are saying like, you know, my friends also love you guys too. So that's just awesome, isn't it? I really love you guys. Like, I really want to be friends with like every single of you, because you guys are just really amazing. You guys seem to be really awesome and cute. I really think you guys are freaking good looking and, you know, awesome. So I really want to be friends with you guys, and I really love all of you. So can you say poop in the chat? Poop? Can you say poop? But yeah, so even though I just made sure it was just acting, but I kind of mean it still. I really love everybody, as in like I really appreciate your like presence. I don't take it for granted. That's what I mean. I actually mean it. But still, even though I just said like, oh, I'm acting, you somewhat felt happy, right? It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it's really crazy. And this is how like our brains work. If somebody says, I'm happy, I like you, I'm happy, I love you. If somebody talks about their feelings and say, I like you, then you freaking start liking, like, you know, them as well. Like, this is called, なんだっけ、なんとかの反復現象. It's called something like that in Japanese. And you can use this to get your crush to like you back. I've never done that because I don't really have a crush on people. But here, this is how you do it. So, the mentalist, I've been studying psychology for a long time to kind of know about myself and know about people. So, oh, by the way, do you guys have a crush right now? Yes or no? Do you guys have a crush right now? Yes or no? Oh, basically, you talk about your feelings first. Like, I'm happy because of that. What you did. If you say stuff like that, then people get happy as well. And Josh Strife, thank you so much for the donation. If you really love me so much, why haven't we met each other yet? Even though I keep inviting you to a live hotel for more than a year now. I'll think about that, because you know, I have to prepare for that and stuff too. So, but yeah, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for coming in though, by the way, Josh Strife. I really appreciate it. You were like one of the few people like who's been watching my channel for a while actually. So yeah, for the people who have a crush on somebody, let me tell you how to do it. But again, if your crush doesn't like you because of the way how you look or like the way how you are, then it's impossible to just get your crush to like you. But there might be some possibility if you do this. So here, basically what you do is, like, if you're close to your crush, this will work freaking 100%. Basically tell her or him that you are really happy or you were happy because she or he did something before and you feel happy. For example, so this is what I'm gonna say. Let's say you are my crush, like you, as in like people like who are watching this. Let's say you are my crush. You are my crush. Ready? This is what I'm gonna tell. So the other day, you checked my phone, right? You checked my phone, right? I was actually really happy that you checked my phone, because I don't know, I just really that was a bad example, but that was a really awesome of you how you checked my phone. I was really happy actually when you checked my phone, because I don't know, that made me happy, really. That made me really happy. So yeah, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. That's the first part, by the way. That's the first part. So basically, go up to people and say you were happy, you were feeling awesome because of what they did for you. That's like the first step. And the next step is this one. So you know how I was talking about that with you the other day, right? I really never talk about that with anybody else, but I really trust you, because you know, in fact, you did that. You checked my phone the other day for me, so, and I really was happy. So, you know, there are some things I talk about only with you because I trust you, and you know, so I really was happy anyways. But yeah, I just really wanted you to know there are some things I talk about only with you, but not with anybody else, because I just simply trust you, and I know you take my things seriously. So that That. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary, isn't it? It's scary, isn't it? Those 2 steps will get people to do things for you. That's scary, isn't it? That sounds like a good way to enter the friend zone, to be honest. If you are friend zoned, I don't know. I mean, but again, like, you have to kind of think about what kind of guys or girls they like. First of all, if they don't like you physically, then it's not gonna happen. If their type is like someone big, and if you are small, then it's not gonna happen. First of all, or I don't know. I mean, if there are some other reasons, then that's not gonna work. But I'm just saying, this is a way to actually control people, and I think I just proved it, right? I think I just proved it by just doing it on live. I mean, on stream. So, and just Anjaman too. Can you be my wife? Thank you so much for the donation. I'm a guy though, so I don't really think I can be a waifu. But yeah, so that's and damn, it's 12:45 a.m. Damn. What if there's and they're your best friend but like someone else? If that's the situation, you have to just, you know, kind of move on, because it's not gonna work. Sometimes it's important to move on and just do something different. But what I'm saying is, it works a lot of times, because it's like a way to control people. And if you guys are interested in like how to control people, read this book called How to Be Persuasive. 20 different ways of something like that. That book's freaking yeah, teaches you like a lot of ways to like how to be persuasive. So dating tips from Sora, I don't really think I know about it, but like, yeah, that's like one proven ways to proven ways to control people. So you do a video about how to be persuasive. I don't really think there's a demand for it, because I mean, my channel is just all about being trolly and being stupid, right? So I don't really think there's like a demand for it, but I will think about it. I just want to be a troll on my channel. Anyways, I want to kind of get off soon, so before that, let me just try to read all the comments and try to reply everything. Give me tips to be gay for you. I don't really think there are tips. You just become gay for somebody and that's it, right? Oh, by the way, I kind of want you guys to actually take it seriously, but like when I said you guys mean a lot to me, I actually mean it. It's not like part of controlling things. But like, so this is like how I live, my life, right? If I were to die tomorrow, like what would I tell? What would I say to people around me? Like, that's how I live my life, right? So like, I actually meant it. Like when I said you guys actually mean a lot to me. I was depressed before, and I kind of got some confidence from you guys by just like being there for me. Like, that's actually true. I actually mean it. So yeah, that part I mean it. So I say it just because like, if I were to die tomorrow, like what would I say to my viewers? Like, that's probably what I would say to my viewers, right? So, and just Strife, how can I persuade you to let me F your... You probably, You probably have to... I don't know, I don't know, you have to like buy my OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans account actually, but you probably have to do that. I don't know. Just buy my OnlyFans. Just sub to my OnlyFans. By the way, I don't have an OnlyFans. I just I'm just saying it because I think it's funny to troll. So I don't know. 日本人の視聴者何%ぐらい？あ、ちなみにここだけの話、日本人のコメント優先的に拾うっていうかなりエコひいきをしてるので、日本人See your penis, show me your penis, penis. I wanna see your penis, penis. Show me your penis, penis. I don't know what to say to you, Josh Shrave, but I don't really have an OnlyFans. Should I make one? Oh, I'm not gonna make an OnlyFans, but like a friend of mine, I think you know about her, but like Sen has been kind of telling me to make body pillows, like sort of troll body pillows, because like she's like a business genius basically, and she's been kind of telling me like, Sora, you'll make a lot of money for if you make like sort of troll body pillows, you get a lot of money, dude. And I was like, I'm not really into making a lot of money though. And she was like, you have to do it, right? And I was like, really? Like seriously, you have to do it now? And I was like, I'll think about it. I mean, yeah, I'll think about it. But yeah, can I just sell my body pillow to you though, instead of like a lifetime membership on OnlyFans? Do you think that's gonna work? But I'll think about what to do for this. But thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. And Feisty Hellcat, thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for being a therapist and controlling me. I really didn't mean to control you like that. I don't really do that to people. I mean, I kind of try to think about like what to do if I were to die tomorrow and tell people like that they really mean a lot to me. I'd rather just be honest and show my feelings to people without thinking about the controlling part. But I just kind of show you guys like how to control people, because like that method is important, especially if you are a teacher. Like just do that and you can control your students in the way you want. I used to tell my students all the time like that. I love my students just because you guys are so respectful and you guys are best students ever. And when you guys told me this, I was really happy. So I really respect you guys for that, and I freaking controlled my students and they studied English a lot. A lot of my students wanted to be an English teacher like me as well, because like yeah, they basically got hypnotized that way. But yeah. And Usagi69, thank you so much for the donation. Zarina, hi Sora, I love watching your live streams and you always make me laugh, thanks. Never stop being weird because you make everyone happy. Thank you so much for telling me that, I really appreciate it. You definitely make me happy as well, so thank you so much. Kid Goten, Sora, would you rather get your bold script by... The first one. And Wolfian, thank you Sora for today's stream. We have learned a lot about different topics. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. And here, so there might be some people like who are depressed and like who probably don't know like what the meaning of like life is. And we just talked about therapy and stuff. Where did you go? Like somebody talked about, yeah, this one. Thank you for being a therapist and controlling me. So there's like this one interesting therapy. Ready? Ready? So again, remember what you would do if you were to die tomorrow. If you're thinking about like killing yourself, like do you really want to kill yourself before experiencing like everything you can experience? Or do you want to still like do some things before you die? Right? That's one thing. And there's actually this one interesting phrase that will make everybody's days. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I love you. Do you want me to say that one more time? I love you. Now your days are better, probably. So like words have a power. Words have a power. So don't even say something like, "Oh, I hate you. I don't like them. I don't like you." Even as a joke, words have a power. Be careful. A Wolfian, thanks so. I think I just read this. And Madoyu Metsuki, thank you so much for the donation. Hey, do you know more languages than English? Me myself, I think I'm this one. There's this one language I speak actually, which is called Japanese. And I speak Japanese, and I thought I only speak English. And the I love you part, which is kind of interesting because like not gonna lie, toxic positivity is very cringe. I mean, it can be cringe, but before, so the thing about it is like, do you want to be cringe by spreading your love, or do you want to be cringe by being actually cringe and being stupid? If you are spreading like, you know, so this is my philosophy, this is my like way of living, but if you are doing what you believe is right, and if people think you're cringe for it, then that's good, because I mean, that's how I live my life, right? If people think you are cringe just because you are doing something wrong, then you should stop doing it. That's how I live my life. If I so is it cringe to tell people that I love them? If it's cringe, and if yes, then is it going to still make people happy by just saying it? If it's yes, then yeah, I mean, sort of, I just do it. Does that make any sense? So I don't know, like, if I want to do that anymore. I don't know. Cringe in Japanese, kimoi. So yeah, oh, by the way, a lot of people kind of care about like whether something is cringe or not, but like what you have to care about is whether what you are doing is making people happy or not. Like that's what you have to think about more than anything. Some people think about, this is like one of the questions I get from people, like, oh, you know what, Sora, I want to learn Japanese, but I don't want people to think I'm a weeb and cringe. Like, oh my gosh. For those people who are wondering about it, you have to care about whether you are making other people feel bad and depressed for what you are doing. If it's making other people happy, then just keep doing the same thing again and again, because like it's what you are doing is making the world better, right? But if what you are doing is making people sad, depressed, angry, stop it. So then you can probably figure out how to live your life, right? And Jenny, how long does it take to set up your live streams? 1 hour? I take a shower and stuff, so I take a shower and check my emails and make sure my clients are not waiting. Are you American? Wait, hello.
Yeah, Americans.
Japanese, would you believe it? Isn't can I ask you something, sir? So, if I told you that I'm Japanese, would you believe it?
No. No.
No, it wasn't like he
I wouldn't, but I would just be like, I wouldn't believe you.
Oh, really? So where do you think I'm from, by the way?
I don't know. America?
It literally just happened on my channel. It literally just happened on my channel. It literally just happened on my channel. I really never thought it can happen on my channel, but I mean, things happen, I guess. 一緒にラーメン食べ行こうよ. Let's go eat ramen together. I'll think about it, because I mean, I love ramen myself, but I don't really know if I can just eat ramen with, you know, random person, like random people. And Madhu Mitsuki, thank you so much for the donation. I know you are Japanese, that's evident, but how many languages do you learn in your life? That's my question. I really don't learn languages. I'm not interested in languages. So I speak English and Japanese, right? So a lot of people can assume that I'm into linguistics or like languages, but I'm not actually. I'm not interested in languages, like how to say things or whatever. I'm not interested in that. So yeah, I only speak English and Japanese. So I'm not really interested in like how to pronounce things better and whatever either. I mean, I say apparently. I don't say apparently. So yeah. What is this song you're playing? Where to find it? Thank you so much for the donation. This is how you find it. Ready? Sora the Troll SoundCloud. This is my thing. And thank you so much for the donation. Just Shrive. How do you say, can you put me in a chokehold with your thick thighs for $5 in Japanese? Chokehold って日本語でなんて言うんだろう? How do I say chokehold in Japanese? Is it chokehold? 締め殺し? 嘘だ。嘘だ。チョークホールド。あ、締め技。あ、締め技確かに。締め技か。締め技。チョークホールド。え、wait. Chokehold in Japanese is chokehold. Really? Wait, I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, but it says like chokehold in Japanese is like chokehold. Really? Wait, so can you put me in a chokehold in... Wait, no. I really don't know how to say that in Japanese, but I guess it's chokehold. I just googled it, and one of the articles was basically saying like it's chokehold, so I'm not really sure, but this is how you say it. Futomomo de chokehold 5ドルかな ?5 ドルあげるから太ももでチョークホールドしてください。I guess it's this. 5ドルあげるから I'll give you $5. 太ももでチョークホールドしてください。Why am I teaching this? Also, you're Japanese, name every kanji. Thank you so much for the donation. But so here, this is how you find my songs, like, you know, this one. So the stars that we saw there to get to the water, so you shared with me that they do not. And this one. And this one. This one. This one. This one. If I get copyrighted for playing this, I'm gonna freaking report YouTube. This is my music, by the way. This one. So I have everything there on my SoundCloud page. So let me just read everything again, and I have to kind of get off soon. So and Lmax chokehold is 締め技。締め技かけてくださいかな。でもどっちだろうな。まあ締め技かな。まあ締め技っすかね。Yeah, probably, yeah. Well, let me just read everything, and I have to really get off soon. Is that your real hair? No, this is my wig. I'm wearing a wig. I'm wearing. It actually hurt. But yeah, 英語はどこで学びましたか？英語圏に住んでないですよ。ずっと日本ですよ。もう自分のこと本当に日本育ちの日本人としか見てないレベルまで日本人。なんなら海外のことを今学んでる最中まである。じゃあなぜ英語が話せるか？ Let me explain that in English. So somebody just asked me like why I speak English. I kind of talked about it 20 minutes ago. But so basically, I grew up in, you know, I was born and raised in Japan, right? So like I speak English, but like everything about me is so Japanese, and I don't know anything about what happens outside of Japan. So I know the language, but I know nothing about like cultures outside of Japan. Then why do I know the language? Because I have a lot of friends who speak English and like other languages in Japan. And I was in the group like where everybody kind of spoke English. And I was hanging out with them a lot, and this is what happened. Basically, it's kind of like how do I explain this? I spoke Japanese at school. I spoke Japanese with my, you know, family members. But like when I wanted to talk to my friends, it was like all in English. So, but I never really like took any education in English. 千葉県千葉住んでますよ。現時点で。千葉から出ることないかな、もう多分。So it's kind of like that. So yeah. I wouldn't even do anything. I mean, I would probably ask her to spank me even more. So. Is it hard to learn Japanese? Depending on like how hard you try. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you think I can have a girlfriend? Wait. Do you think I can have a girlfriend? Because you just asked me if I have one or not. Rather than like, you don't have a girlfriend, right? Really? You think I can have a girlfriend? Why didn't your school teach you English as a kid? I kind of learned English when I was a kid, but like, I mean, I don't know. Any good methods for learning kanji? I don't really know. I mean, I kind of suck at learning stuff, so I don't really know. I kind of believe that you have to write a lot, but I don't know. I'm bad at learning things in general, like languages. I speak English and Japanese just because, I mean, I've been speaking both languages. I didn't really do anything. So, 眠たくないんですか？眠くはないんですよね。日本人の方に朗報です。日本のコメントを目立つので全部拾ってます、割と。実は全部見てる。うわ、日本人の人しか分かんないからみんなこう、今分かんないってなってるんだ。うわ、今困ってる、みんな困ってるの分かって面白いな。日本語でコメントすると浮くんで見てますよ、大体。Monkey D. Luffy, thank you so much for the donation. If I'm barely learning Japanese, where should I start? Make Japanese friends first. Like, that's where you have to start. Because, like, when you make friends, when you make Japanese friends, you will notice, you will realize, like, what to learn first. Like, you will notice, like, oh, how can I say this? Oh, how should I say this? You will notice, like, you will figure out what you want to learn. Make Japanese friends, play Apex Legends, Fortnite, whatever games you want to play with them, and just learn what has to be learned for you first. So. But didn't you say your major was translating in college? Yeah, I mean, that's my major. Like, my major was like, translation, I guess. My sub-major was like psychology though, and psychology is like something I've been studying like since I was like 12 or something. So like, but I didn't want to major in psychology. I wanted to, but I didn't, because I mean, like, what can you do with the degree in psychology, right? But psychology, in fact, it's like actually something I've been learning for a long time. And 英語での相打ちって言いますけど、結構自分何も考えないで喋ってるから、なんだろう。日本語でのだって相打ちってなんすかね、逆に。ほんと多分自分ってあれなんですよ、もう感覚で全部やってるから、習うとしたらいいのあるかな。Yeah right じゃないですかね。Yeah right. I say that a lot. Yeah right. Yeah right. Yeah right. Yeah right. 今やってみますね。Yeah right. Yeah right. Yeah right. Yeah right. Yeah right. できる。つえ。Yeah right. This is 強い。How did you not get any education in English? Didn't your school? I mean, so the thing about it is like they teach you English, but what I mean by that is like, so taking education in English is like when you study something in English, right? Like not just so what I mean by that is like, it's not like learning English, but learning something in English is like what I mean. That's what I think is like taking education in English, right? I mean, I sort of like took some education in English, like some like literature and stuff, but like rather than that, nothing really. But those English classes, I don't really think they were even worth it. 日本語話すと本当キャラ違って見える。多分それはなんだろうな、この日本語の文化ってものがあるんですよ、絶対に。それは間違いなく存在してて、例えば日本語の文化って結局距離感が重要なんですよね。この敬語とか、その主語が存在するしないとかで直接的なものが消えるんですよ。だから日本語ってそもそもそのなんか礼儀正しい人に聞こえがち。いや、どうしても言ってることは同じでも、英語だと you とか I とかすごい直接的に言うから距離近いなんですよね、今度。だフランクになりがちだから、なんか変なことするときは英語の方がやりやすいんですよ。例えばpoop I think poop is funny これが英語。次うんちどっちも決めは気のせいでした。 And Coleton Rate Manic, thank you so much for the donation. I was just trying to explain like why like I sound like act different when I speak Japanese, and I was just trying to explain like how the culture is just different, so that I have to think about like how to like talk to Japanese people in Japanese and whatever. And I was trying to explain like so because of that, like trolling in English works a lot better, and I'm gonna show it to you. And I just said poop in English, and I was like, yeah, that's cringer in English, right? So I'm gonna just do that in Japanese, and I said like poop in Japanese, and I was cringy in Japanese as well. So I was like, damn. こんばんは。I was like 今ちょうど落ちるところなので、すいません本当に。今ちょうど落ちるところだったんで、もうなんか寝ようと思って、もうそろ。Alright, I'm gonna just stay here for 10 more minutes. Isn't it hella early? It's like 1 p.m. a.m. Yeah. I'm gonna go to bed soon. I have to start a new day, because I mean I've been freaking getting emails from my clients as well. 10分だけだってもう長い間いますもん。3時間ぐらいいるんじゃないですか、自分多分。Do you mind being asked the same question over and over? Depends on what question it is too. Sometimes like people ask me like, "Where's Usa-chan? Where's Usa-chan? I'm horny for her. Like, oh my gosh, I wanna smell her panties." I get the same question for 2 years actually. Even though there are posts about it, there are videos about it, there are streams about it, there are articles about it, like on the internet, I still like get the same question, right? So I kind of feel not really annoyed by it, but like I still explain it to people, but like you know what I mean. Difference between unchi and unko. Unchi sounds cuter. Unko sounds more harsh. Would you rather be Discord girl or Apple guy? Apple guy. Just because I'm a guy and I really cannot imagine what it feels like to be a girl. So, ソラさんは日本語で話すのが早すぎる。そうですかね。それは多分だから日本語にある母音の数が多いからなんかたくさん音が入ってるように聞こえるってだけだと思う。なぜかっていうと日本人の人は僕が英語で話す速度が速いと思っている。おそらく。でそれはなぜ今度は英語で起きるかっていうと英語の母音のつながり方が日本語とだいぶ違うから。日本語はあいうえおが母音としてなんかかきくけこで1言葉ずつつながってるから分かれて聞こえるんですけども英語に関しては I wanna be ってつながるからそのつながりが大きく聞こえるというか YouTube の活動にどれぐらいの時間もう相当短いっすよ。動画作るんだったら1日1時間とかじゃないですか。1週間に1回しか上げてないしな最近。What is a word that confused you a lot when you learned English? I really cannot remember because I mean, as I've been saying, like I kind of grew up speaking English and Japanese both, and I really never paid attention to like learning English itself. So no, I don't know. Oh, probably not really like English, not like an English word itself, but more like the things people say, like culture-wise. You know, like how there are some things like we never say, but some people say in English, like something like So in Japanese, we say, "Can I go to the bathroom?" to your friends. Like トイレ行ってきていい？視聴者は女20男80。So in English, you never say like, "Oh, can I go to the bathroom?" to your friends, right? Like at school, for example. We do that. So that part of like English itself is kind of like hard, I guess. Though っていう言葉。けどみたいな感じじゃないですかね。I watched Mad Love lately. やめてくれ。あれちょっと恥ずかしいからやめてくれ。さっき Mad Love の人からメッセージ来てたしな。また。How did you learn your clean English accent? I don't know. I've been just speaking English and Japanese both. So I really never learned anything in reality. So best way to make Japanese friends. Just go up to them and just say, "I want to be friends with you." Like Japanese people say yes to that 100%. Pancakes or waffles? Waffles. お元気ですよ。For people to make a collab in school in Japan, more than 4 though. More than 4. 10 at least, probably 5. Is it 5? I don't know. やめません。いや、マットラボほんと恥ずかしいんだよな、あれ。マットラボと、あと魔剣伝説超恥ずかしい。日本人の方の魔剣伝説って知ってます？ Discord server. I don't have a Discord server. また英語の教師、もうやりたくない。もうやだ。もうやだ。時間取られすぎてもうやだ。What do you think of VTubers? They are great, I guess. I don't really watch VTubers myself, though. How much do you sleep? Like 8 hours, 7 hours? grow out your beard. I'm not gonna do that な。何それ、魔剣伝説っていうなんか広告出てきません？なんかゲームのやつ。What is waffles in Japanese? ワッフル。Other than YouTube, what do you do? I do voice acting and translations. 広告のやつ、それっすね。あれ自分やってますよ、たまに。なんかいません？なんだっけ、俺の戦闘力は50万だ。お前の戦闘力はいくつだ？俺は30万だってやつ。あれ自分っす、ちなみに。自分っぽいやつがいたらあれ、俺っす。とか見つかんじゃないかな。Wait, let me actually Google it. Not really Google it, but let me just watch it on YouTube and let me just try to find my stuff. 魔剣伝説広告。今週出てこねえかな。This is not me. Yeah, my voice should be like in one of them. And never mind, it's kinda hard to find myself, so. Alright. すごくはない。意外となんかそれがお仕事だから多分仕事だとそういうの多いですよ。でも多分。And thank you so much for the donation. I actually don't know how to pronounce this, but what is your favorite book, Sora? Any books that are about psychology? My favorite one is like 20 ways to be persuasive. Scientifically proven ways to be persuasive. That's my favorite music. Thank you so much, though, Feisty. I'm not even doing anything. I was literally thinking about taking a poop as well. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. For you, I'm gonna just tell you that there's this one video called deleted. This one. If this video gets deleted, it's because of YouTube. I'm gonna just tell you this video existed. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really cannot do anything now, but thank you so much. And have you ever tried to get on the Trash Taste podcast? Yes, kind of. A big bunch. Thank you so much for the donation. I want to, but I don't really think they want me to be on their podcast because I don't really think there's a demand for me to be there on their podcast. You know what I mean? What kind of Japanese input type do you use on your PC? ローマ字。道元。100% 道元。Like, if you want to learn Japanese, just learn it from Dogen. He's the best, like, you know, person to learn Japanese from, like, in reality. We sometimes say strawberry too, actually. Do you try to speak English? Deep English words? Like, well, what do you mean? Well, what's deep English words? Isn't the Anime Man better? Anime Man's not really a foreigner though. So like, I think I was just talking about this, but Anime Man's more like just a Japanese guy, like straight up. Like he's straight up Japanese. We don't see him as like a foreigner, so he doesn't count. He's straight up Japanese, like 100%. So, can you do a British accent? Nope. Dio. Matt versus Japan. His Japanese is good too, yeah, I guess. Alright, so that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for the donation, FB020. Another awesome stream. Good night, sir. Good night to you too. Or good day. Have a good day. So if there are any people who are curious about my music, search Soradatro, SoundCloud, and go to my SoundCloud page, and there are a lot of like my songs. And remember, when speaking Japanese, what's important is not grammar, words. Your personality is more than anything. Like that's what you have to care about. Whether you have to focus about, like you just have to focus on whether you're being friendly, being nice in Japanese or not, rather than like how perfect your Japanese is and whatever. From like us, from our perspectives, it doesn't, like, we don't care how accurate your Japanese is or like how broken your Japanese is. We care about how nice you are. We don't care like how many kanji characters you know. We don't care like how awesome your Japanese sounds. We care if you're nice or not. So like, I know like a lot of Japanese people want to learn Japanese and be like, oh my god, my Japanese is good. But before doing that, try to be careful about how you are speaking Japanese. As in like, I'm not talking about your accent or anything. How you are speaking Japanese, as in like, are you using Japanese to be productive, be nice to people? Are you sure you are not going up to people and be like, oh my god, your clothes suck? You know what I mean? That's why you have to be careful about. Anyways, that's it for today. What did I miss actually? Yeah, manners. We seriously don't care how broken your Japanese is, how stupid you sound or anything. We don't care. What we care about is like how friendly you sound, how friendly you are. So that's it. And because like some people kind of, you know, care about like how fluent they sound and they forget about like the manners and stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna stream on Thursday, 12 PM in my time, and I'm gonna try to make pasta, like tomatoes and like bacons and like shrimps and whatever with the cooking robot thing. So stay tuned. Have a good day. Good night. Thank you so much for coming to the stream again, everybody. I really appreciate it. So take care. Bye.